Number 1 Iron Age Booty Daddy.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Iron Age Nights. What's going on, everybody? Boy, that numbing stuff, it really works. It makes you not feel the pain. It's awesome. Ow! We'll see how long it lasts. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We have made it another week. That's right. We have made it another week. We will see how long this show stays on the rails, because last week was an absolute blast. And also, we'll see how long my voice lasts. It's going to be great. I'm going to push it as far as I can. It's going to be awesome. By the end of this show, I hope by the end of this show, I sound like that one of those old school, like 50s, 80-year-old chain smoking ladies from Hollywood. You know, like, sweetheart, you know, you guys know what I'm talking about. They always sounded like this, you know those Hollywood ladies that they,
Dr. Girlfriend, you mean?
I don't fucking know, dude.
That's a little deeper than.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys know what I'm talking about. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Iron Age Nights. We have an absolutely fun show planned for you guys. At least I hope we have a fun show for you guys. I believe that there is a lot of fake news that we are about to present to you, so I have to apologize in advance because this show is full of fake news. So I apologize. John's just sitting there. He's like, I'm going to roast the hell out of you the second that the floor is mine. He's been waiting all week. Ow. Nope.
What can I do to you that you're
alive?
What can I do to you that your lungs haven't already done?
That's a good question. Anyway, we won't find out more of my kinks tonight. Let's go and say hello to the chats. Over on Rumble, we got Garham. What's going on, man? Chatsu's over there lurking while working on his book. Attaboy. We got authorjohnadouglas. Really? You double dip already? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's how it is. Iron Age Media. Really, dude? You're double dip? You're on the fucking show. Don't fraternize with the chat. Don't do that.
I didn't know we were going to be talking to Caro again tonight on Rumble, at least.
Yeah, right. Oh, my voice is gonna die. Paladin Dragoon Rider, what's going on over on YouTube? How you doing, man? Eric Wag, what's up? We got Christopher D. Brand down there. How you doing, man? Eric, Frederick Guimont, what up, man? A lot of people showed up early tonight. We're watching the chat go off early tonight. RH Snow, hello. How are you doing? Queen of the Iron Age. Whimsylent, damn it, Daniel. Oh, you're double dipping too. You used to be a good one. Used to be. See, this is why you don't
You told me to interact with the chat, so I started interacting with the chat.
Why would I tell anybody on this show to interact with the chat? That just seems like a bad idea.
So we're starting the fake news early, huh?
Always. Carol Brown, what's going
Start
on?
my own ministry of truth.
Right. Oh God. Carol Brown, our fantastic guest from last week. That episode is still live on the channel today, so if you want to go check that out. She brought a few friends last week too, and I was for like probably for the third time on this show, not the most high energy person on the show, which was, it's always weird when people out energy me on my own show. I'm just like, wait, no. I have Richard and Daniel, and they kind of mellow me out. And then, yeah, there was a lot of energy on the show last week. So, TJ Lombardi, what's going on, man? John.
Hey, TJ.
John. Timo Burnham, what's going on, man? Hey, see, I'm saying his name right now. That hurts my
Timo.
soul to say it like that. I don't like saying Garhum, why are you double dipping? Why would you do that to me? Dave Browning, what's going on, man? How are you? Dave, that is a new name for me. Paladin Dragoon Rider, also. How are you doing? I said hello to Paladin. He was one of the first, damn it. Swift Sorters, I'm actually fighting. I did the numbing spray, which tastes like kerosene dipped in something remotely close to a fruit basket. And now my voice is just like, why are you doing this? Like, that numbing spray works. I can't even feel my neck right now. It's awesome. Horizon Talker, what's going on? Silent Unseen, how are you doing? Barry Opsis Press, what up? Nope, still dying. Oh, still dying. Oxen W, what up? Mad Hatter 1776, how you doing? 10 Cage, what's going on, man? 10 Cage. Trippy Soul, what's going on, Trippy Soul? Rose, my lovely wife, she is here as well. Redoubt Productions, what up, dude? Raul Neonzi, how are you doing, man? It's good to see everybody. Tom Highland, what up, man? Kat Rocha, hey, Kat, how are you doing? I haven't seen you in a while. Hopefully you and the mister are doing well. Oh, good Lord. Nope. And the chat just jumped on me. Why you guys got to do that? Why you got to be like that? It's like, I'm already having enough trouble, and you guys... Man, the chat jump on me. Jersey, what's going on, man? Draco, Nightmare. Draco, I haven't seen you in a hot minute, dude. What's going on, dude? AC Pritchard, how are you doing, man? Ram, what's going on, Ram? The Gibbon Guy, what's going on? That is a new name in the chat for me. It's fantastic to see those new names. Stay based, what's up? Michael Harris. He's a sup, my ninjas. Ooh, ninjas. It's great. I love it. I love it when people do stuff like that. It makes me laugh. I shouldn't laugh tonight because I can't. Out. Nope, still dying. Oh, one of these days I won't die anymore. Garfield's Bizarre Adventure. How are you doing, man? It's good to see you. And we have Evely Music, Megatonic Audio, and John Bernouk. What's going on? John Bernouk is doing an absolutely fantastic job with archiving the Wednesday night stream as well as the Iron Age night streams. And also, if I have a guest over on Sunday coffee, he's archiving those as well. John, and I didn't even ask him to do it. He just did it. He's like, yeah, I got some time. Danny Diego, what's going on, man? Oh, my goodness. Nope, still dying. SC Vincent. Wow, people keep jumping in. Yo. All right, well. Before I just keep going on and on and on. Devil's Air. Nope. AC Pritchard, he's already been here. All right. Before I keep going on and on saying hello to all of you fantastic people. And SC Vincent says, I'm a little sick too. I think a lot of people are also a little sick this week. That is what I've heard from a ton of people in the ADWC Gilded. Like, just tons of people. Tons and tons of people.
The season.
'Tis the season to be sickly. Fa la 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 la.
Mm-hmm.
What? That was actually awesome. I'm proud of you for that. I don't even care. Damn it, couldn't stop that one. It's awesome. I'm the most energetic, sickly person. You'll actually know that's not even true. I've seen people with cancer like that are dying that day. But anyway, I mentioned the Gilded. Why don't you guys go over and jump into the Gilded as well if you are not a part of it already? There is that link down below. And without any further ado, it is time to introduce my fantastic co-hosts, everybody. And I have nothing smarmy to say tonight, so I'm just gonna say, Richard, man, how you been, dude? How
Man,
you doing?
he isn't feeling good.
I'm
Well,
really not.
yeah, I was gonna say, I think I'm about 3-4 days ahead of where you are, because that was me most of the week with the cough. It sucks. I don't
Dude.
know. I don't know what it is, but it's a pain.
Dude, it's everywhere right now, too.
Yeah. But
You get
I
the
guess.
or you get stuff up here too.
Oh yeah, it's
Dude.
just generally terrible.
It's
but
horrible.
but yeah, everything's been cruising right along. The couple things I'll say is that Anvil Magazine, multiple pieces of news coming out there. First of all, that subscriptions for 2024 are now open. So if you want to lock in your Anvil subscription and get access to stuff that won't be available through the main campaigns, or get better shipping rates on the main campaigns, that's where you can do that. And also, that issue number 3, I've announced who's going to be the featured stories and comics there. So that's out in the wild. Yes. And let's see, your advertising is open. So if you want to advertise your work in Anvil, that's available there through anvilmagazine.com as well. And last but certainly not least, submissions for issue number 4 are now open. So that'll be cruising in. So we've got quite the pile already. Go out there, let us see what you got, and hit me with the best shot. So.
All right, Pat Benatar, calm down. Calm down. All right. Something abuse story in your head. He's gonna help you guys. He's gonna help you guys, right? So just go over to go. Daniel P. Riley, how are you doing?
A valiant attempt. I'm fine.
I'm fine.
He's the one healthy person.
Yeah, gloat. Why don't you? It's.
I will. Thank you.
Ow.
No, I'm doing well. I decided for November, since I write all year long and don't do the NaNoWriMo stuff, I would work on 2 projects at once for 30 days. So I've been posting that on Twitter. I'm writing 2 books at the same time, working on one in the morning and one in the evening.
Interesting.
Just a challenge, something fun to do.
Yeah, just why not?
Yeah.
Editing.
It's been working out pretty good. Showing up to Caro's writing power hours has helped a lot for the evening.
That's an interesting thing that Caro's got going on there. It's
a solid writing system.
It's common in the booktube community somewhat, the writing sprints and the reading sprints. Yep. It's not for me, I can say that much for sure, but it is certainly interesting. It's interesting, but it's just not for me.
The thing that I don't like is the stopping, because it's a sprint. You go for 20 minutes and then you stop for 5 to do something, and then you go for another 20 minutes. I'm like, when the little birdie chimes, I'm like, no, I still have sentences.
Well, that's it. I mean, it's a mind workout, right? It teaches you to start and stop, and it's kind of like wind sprints. If you guys have ever done wind sprints, which are freaking horrible. But you essentially do short spurt sprints for
there you go.
Like 20 seconds, and then you stop, and then you go to a walk, and then you do another short sprint for 10 seconds, and then you stop, and then you do another one for 30 seconds, and then you stop. And it kind of trains the body to elevate and lower the heart rate on demand.
Yep.
Kind of what her writing sprints remind me of, but it trains that muscle in the brain for writing. So you can start.
I believe it's called Pomodoro style. She can correct me on that in the chat since she's here.
Also, the alarm that she uses is the exact same one that I used in college. And so it awakens a deep fear of missing tests and panic, hangover, rising from the dead and sprinting out the door. You know, that
It
kind
just
of thing.
upsets my my need to achieve because I hear the little birdies tweet and I'm like, no, shut up, birds.
It's
I'm
it's
still
very
writing.
stressful. For me, I just
Oh, oh God, yeah. I'm glad I didn't do the college thing. I'm so glad that I didn't.
There's definitely some ups and downs to it. It's
I
it
was like, you didn't go to college? What did you do? I was like, I went to work and bought a house.
yeah.
Like, and they're like,
Yeah.
wait, what? I'm like, yeah, I don't. That's how I am. Okay, just back off. Oh, oh, good Lord. Oh my goodness. Collect yourself.
I,
right.
Kevorkian the Wizard, for $200 will come to your house and cast Fireball. It fixes everything.
Right. The room is the room is only 10 by 10. I didn't ask what size the room was. I said I wanted to cast Fireball.
That's why I picked this shirt up.
That pizza mancer picture that I put up on my Twitter went so around. The jokes kept rolling in. I'm like, oh my god, my original comment was so lame. Everybody was like, throw pizza bowl. They're calling him a pasta mancer. I'm like, I gotta write this down. This might be good one day.
Pizza bowl was my favorite.
Pizza bowl was good.
Okay, so all right. So a D&D
sauce
campaign,
mancer, sauce mancy.
But the magic system has to be based around food and food items.
Well, have you guys?
I will be the peppermancer. I get to throw all the spicy magic.
Did you guys never play or hear of Kingdom of Loathing? It was like a text-based game back in like the early 2000s, and it was like
that is one I am not familiar with.
Oh man, they've made real games now that are similar, but they had sorcerers and
damn it,
things like that. I can't remember. Oh man, I can't remember what else there was, but
Roy's picked the wrong Iron Age Knights to get a cough for every time he laughs.
Yeah,
dude,
right.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
I'm gonna kill you, Royce, in Minecraft.
I mean, okay. Don't threaten me with a good time. Like, what are we going for here? Like,
that's my line.
That's my line. Oh God. Well, ladies and gentlemen, no better time to introduce our guest for the evening. The man says supposedly the man has a book. Fake news. Supposedly the man wrote a book. Also fake news. It was paid for. I have the documents. No, I don't. I'm just saying that. But anyway, so the most fake news man on the planet about writing books. What?
You gonna release the Kraken race?
I don't know what the Kraken is, but okay.
Don't worry about it. Move on.
It's
for those who get it.
I am obviously not one of those who get it. Apparently, you're starting.
Royce is the only one that gets the truth. The honest to God's truth is I'm an advanced AI created by Shadiversity. We played the long game.
You mean a disadvanced AI?
Look, I haven't gotten
the latest
upgrade.
It does stand for artificial intelligence.
The latest update.
Artificial creativity.
AI. Most AI running on Windows 11. John, Windows 98. What the fuck?
I'm sure if I was a PC guy, that would be very funny. Your face froze at a really good frame. I'm going to clip that later.
Ow. John A. Douglas, ladies and gentlemen. John A. Douglas. How you doing, man? How's your week been?
Frantic and anxious, trying to get everything done at the last minute to try and get this damn thing across the finish line. And like I was telling Daniel a little earlier, if I did everything that I really wanted to do for the book, it would end up pushing the release into next year. And it's time to shit or get off the pot. Like I've had this thing in development for long enough. And once I've got all the infrastructure in place, it's going to streamline future books to be a lot quicker, hopefully, especially with my editor over there, who has been a tremendous help the last several weeks.
It's all fake.
Thank you, Daniel, very much for jumping in and trying to, and helping smooth up some of the rough edges.
Anytime, man.
Oh, So, all right. In all seriousness, John messaged me. God, what would that be? Beginning of summer, I think. And he was like, "Hey, dude." He's like, I'm really hoping as long as everything goes well." And he was like months out. It was like
Yeah.
June or July. He's like, "Can I grab a week in September?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "I'm just hoping everything goes well." But I'm really pushing for this book to get done then. And he messaged a few weeks later. He's like, "Hey, dude, it's not gonna happen." So,
Yeah, the cover artist couldn't get to it that quickly.
yeah, and so that was actually, I think John was. John, I actually think you were part of the reason that scheduling September, the Iron Age Night show, fucking sucked. Because you bounced and then other people, and I had to shift a whole bunch of crap around. I mean, it worked. We make it work. We always make it work here. But it's literally, John, you are the reason we now have a Google form for people to fill out, so that way we can have, we just know all.
In all fairness, I did warn you. That's why I always included the disclaimer, barring unforeseen circumstances. Unforeseen circumstances arose.
Unforeseen circumstances that your ass told me about.
I'm used to getting blamed for stuff at my construction job, so this doesn't really faze me all that much.
I know, but that's why I could do it to you. I never get construction guys in here that I can just trade blows with. It's great. Not like gay blows either, just like construction blows. Very, very different kind of blows, ladies and gentlemen.
You've been very, Royce. Maybe you ought to just back away from that one. Just back away.
You haven't worked on a construction site, have you?
No, but
all right. So, John,
not going there.
Yeah,
I'm saving a lot of this talk for the inevitable blue collar stream we set
actually,
up.
guys, we're talking about it. There are a bunch of dudes in Gilded tonight that were talking about it, and they're like, blue collar talk? Talking about the worst jokes that we've heard on a job site and sharing some of the funniest crap we've seen. I'm like, it will be Rumble exclusive, and everybody's like,
has to be.
Oh, no, I literally can't talk about any of it on
you
YouTube.
You guys think 4chan and Twitter is a cesspit of toxic content? You have not seen the stuff that has been scrawled on the side of porta cans.
Oh, dude, I was about to say that. I can't tell you the amount of times that I've gone into a porta john and I look around and I'm like, dear God. And the problem is you can't not look at, and I'll never forget. I'm like, this was the original social media.
Yeah,
the porta john and a fucking Sharpie was the original social media, and the crap. I mean, dude, I've seen death threats.
Oh no,
inside.
I can top it. I will top it right now. This was
Don't
the
get
most
me demonetized.
No. I promise.
Okay.
The most unbelievable, unreal thing I've ever seen scrawled on a porta can was not even a poem or a comment. I was working in the plants right after 9/11 happened.
Oh no.
And somebody took the time out of their day, it had to have been like an hour-long shit break, to draw a mural of the two towers on the entire side, in the inside of one of these things. And the next guy that came in drew planes flying into it in Minecraft.
Shit.
And then somebody else came in and drew fighter jets shooting down the planes that were crashing into it. And the expletives started flying. This entire inside of this thing was covered. It took 3 days before the foreman of the job called everyone into an informal meeting and said, we know what you've been doing. We've seen it. You guys are spending all your time in that porta can, draw all over it instead of doing your job. It stops now. They were pissed. I've never seen them so angry.
The funniest one is when I was an inspector in the gas world, and there was these guys that they were just trying to have some fun with another crew that worked in their company. Oh. And it was, and I won't say names, but it was this guy loves this guy, this guy hearts this guy. And they said every porta john that they went into, they wrote this guy loves this guy, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. Everyone. And they were like, dude, we put it in every one of them. And they were, and The funny thing is they'd been on so many different jobs in so many different locations because they connected service gas lines. So they bounced from job to job to job. Dude, I never laughed so much harder when I went to go take a leak and I look up and it says, this guy loves it. Dude, I laughed so hard, I almost peed on myself. I was like, oh my God. I got done. Use that horrible hand gel stuff that they give you that's not even soap. I called the foreman. I was like, dude, that is the funniest shit ever. They wrote, dude, I was 50 miles away from where I was originally told about this. That's how many Porter Johns, because they pick up the Porter Johns and they get cleaned and they get moved to other jobs. I was 50 miles away. I was way far away from where I originally heard this. I was laughing so hard. It was the funniest freaking thing, dude. Oh my God. That was probably that was one of the best ones. That I just thought it was hilarious. Just to
gotta
with this other crew.
I have one that's funny but not dangerous to say on YouTube. So
Okay.
I am old, as we all know. So
You're an old.
Back in my early 20s.
You're not old. Like you got to say it like I say it. You're of a certain vintage.
Of a certain vintage, sure. I vividly remember only one shitter social media post. And it was literally, if you hear beeping, it's not a bomb I dropped in my watch.
I like that.
That is funny. That is rather funny.
I knew a guy who dropped it. I don't know. He's sitting there on the can. And he put his phone in his pocket, and when he like stood up to like, because Porter Johns are awkward, so you kind of have to sit weird to like wipe. His phone came out of his pocket in his pants and fell in, and he's like, I didn't go to get it. He's like, there was no way. So he calls the phone company and is like, hey, I lost my phone. I need to get a replacement on my insurance. Well, okay, we'll just file like a police report, like a stolen phone. Like, no. I know where it is, and they're like, well, why don't you go? Why can't you just go get it? And he's like, no. He's like, I can't go get it. I know where it is, but I can't get it. Well, where is it? He's like, I dropped it down the hole of a porta potty. And they're like, well, sir, our insurance policy doesn't cover that. So
little lesson for you kids in the future. Insurance companies do not pay you. They're not in the business of giving you money. They're in the business of taking your premiums. And whatever technicality they can find to not pay you, they will absolutely take it. That was why I got so mad at those
stolen.
Yeah, that's why I got so mad at those stupid Twitter rejects. I'm trying not to say too many slurs. Rejects is a good substitute for
rejects.
Yeah.
Who
were not upset about the summer of love when businesses were burning down. They're like, oh well, they got insurance. Like, that is said by somebody who has never had to try and get money from an insurance company.
It is a freaking nightmare. Skunk's Workshop throws a member chat over and he throws a member chat over in Rumble right now. He goes, sir, we don't deal with that shit. All right. Enough.
Let's not get too derailed, or this will be the blue collar stream.
Oh my God. I need to have the blue collar stream. All right, John. Supposedly you wrote a book, fake news.
Yeah.
And you have already queued up a thing that I am supposed to play. Also fake news. Maybe not.
That took 2 weeks to make.
Awesome, dude.
And I had to tweak it today because the pre-orders are not ready, unfortunately. I wanted them ready for this so that everybody could go and pre-order it, but Amazon is still looking at the books and reviewing them, and hopefully that'll be ready for this weekend.
How did I know it was going to have orcs in it?
It's
Because
Josh.
I've said it
That should
would,
be the least surprising thing.
right?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. Okay. So let's. Where the hell did your just unholy, somewhat like weebish, like fetishish thing with orcs start? Where did that all start?
It's not a fetish. It's just my favorite fantasy race. Especially leaning towards like the World of Warcraft versions of orcs, right?
Noctar.
I mean, the Hulk's always been one of my favorite superheroes. I just, I kind of like characters that just, go all out. The whole aspect that they could be noble savages, and I never really see that many that put them front and center as the main plot.
Mm-hmm.
And being that I want my books to be things that things that I want to read. I write what I want to read as well. So that was what I made it the center of. Usually they're kind of a flavoring. They're an enemy, and I wanted to make them kind of the centerpiece of it, in a way. So that's kind of where that came on. I said, well, if I'm gonna come out with the book being centered around orcs, and I'm just the orc guy, it's the brand. It's so I've stayed on brand for a long time to try and help in that regard. Everybody's kind of got their thing that they lean into, and orcs has just become my thing. It's especially a way for people to kind of remember, oh, John's the orc guy, right?
Yeah, if that would be interesting to just you just lean into it. Just like, no, I write books about orcs. I like orcs. I write books about orcs. I'm the orc guy. And I mean, honestly, other people, like, if they just like your characters, they're just like, I don't care if they're orcs or not. I like the characters. Oh, he's the orc guy. That's actually a really, really good marketing strategy, to be perfectly honest.
When I initially was going to try and do my channel, I was trying to come up with a gimmick that was kind of orc centric. And the initial thought was like, do it in an orc mask and like some get up. And for just a brief period of time, I was like, I was going to call my my channel Orc Dad, but the mask didn't look good. The makeup took too long. The tusk, I couldn't talk right. And finally, I just said, you know what? This ain't working. I'm just going to be myself. And so, I am the face of my brand. So, that's kind of, how everything ties together.
No, dude, that works. So getting into.
Well, I have a question for you real quick. Well, was Warcraft the first franchise that like you really got attached to orcs?
Well, I mean, I knew they were around, but like I like how their orcs looked, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there were some. I'll tell you kind of where it did start. This is one of the first books, one of the first fantasy books I ever read. It's called Grunts by Mary Gentle. This is, if you've never seen my review of this on my channel, this is basically to epic fantasy what The Boys is to superheroes. This is a black comedy that is over the top, violent, explicit, but at the same time really fucking hilarious because, okay, it's about these this pack of orcs, and they find this dragon's hoard by a dragon that hoards treasure from different worlds. They find this massive cave stockpile of U.S. Marine weaponry, vehicles, everything. The weapons have a glamour on them. So when the orcs take the weapons and stuff, it transforms them into like stereotype Marine, hoorah Marines. They're marching around going, hoorah, yes, sir, yes, and they're fighting in battles, riding around in jeeps, firing machine guns and shit. And when it's on, it's really funny. The plot kind of loses steam towards the end, and the ending itself just kind of, the whole narrative kind of falls apart. Like she didn't really know what to do with it or how to end it. Daniel, you're nodding. Did you read this too?
Yes, I read it.
So that kind of put a little seed in my head, but for an idea, but when I always just liked the cinematics for Warcraft, and it was always more interesting than the gameplay. I couldn't even play Warcraft for a long time anyway. Like I didn't have a really good up-to-date PC until like 3 years ago. It was always something used and shit. So I was always like a generation behind on PC games. I couldn't afford to play Warcraft even when it was popular. I was poor. I've been poor for a very long time, pretty much most of my life, right?
Yeah.
I like to call that being professionally poor.
Yeah.
I am also professionally poor. I get it.
I got a lot of things from my dad, and kind of continuing that blue collar streak and work ethic, everything from him. But like he grew up poor, and he was like a high school dropout, and so through the 80s, like I was just not just at the poverty line. There was a couple of times I was literally homeless, right? We lived for an entire like 3 months in a tent in a campground on Stone Mountain, Georgia. I thought I was just on vacation. I didn't realize I wasn't going to school. I was just young. I didn't know any better. And we moved around, come back kind of down here, and things started to pick up. But two things happened in the early 90s. Hold on. I'm getting ready to talk here. A little bit of lore here.
What the fuck was that?
What?
Hold on. I'm
man,
ready to take that.
I get thirsty when I talk. Don't judge me.
So, guy who's never gone on a good rant before. You don't even know how to fucking.
Well, he's also not coughing, every other couple words. So I wouldn't hassle him too much there, Royce.
I can rant my way through a cough. I don't care. I actually could too. That's probably the bad thing.
But check this out. Two things happened in the early 90s, right? That kind of set me a lot on this path. One was in 92. My mother pulled me out of public school because I was bullied to the point of suicidal depression. Talking about, like, I had gone through 6th grade. The transition from 5th grade to 6th grade was not easy for me. Things changed, and like people were less, the kids were less accommodating. And I was a quiet kid. I was, I did not want to be picked on, and I got picked on, and it was such a distraction. I failed 6th grade. And then the few people that I did know moved up to 7th grade, and I was stuck in 6th grade. No friends, no nothing. Everybody, and like every class I went to, I was psychologically bullied. I was, verbally bullied. I was physically bullied at times too. And it got so bad that, I started to wish that I was dead. And I would, it got bad enough to the point of self-harm. Because I was frustrated. I was 12, 13, frustrated, and there seemed to be no end to it. And I was about to fail the 6th grade for the second time because I couldn't focus on my studies. Every class I went in, people would not leave me alone. And my mother went ahead and pulled me out and said, "This is the only solution. He's got to be out of school." And I did not find this out until years later. You want to see me rant, Royce? I will rant right now.
Thank you.
Daniel knows this because I've talked to him about it before. He's not going to take any shade because I know he used to be a teacher. I did not find out until years later that one of the reasons my bullying was allowed to go on for so long is because my teachers facilitated it. They blamed me for my bullying. Okay? Oh, John can't possibly be picked on by that many people. He must be doing something to antagonize them. My mother's saying he is coming home. He is drawing pictures of himself being run over by cars and being stabbed through the chest. Like, this is not healthy. You are not doing anything to help my son. It's his fault, they said.
The public education system is not there to take children into adulthood. The public education system is there to grind children into the perfect little worker bees for the system. And if you are not at a young age showing signs of being that perfect little worker bee, you will be singled out by the administration, you will be singled out by facility staff, and you will be singled out by those who will become the perfect little worker bees, and you will be ground into dust. until you are either dead or compliant.
Now, this is why I will
And that
never,
is not-
you will never see me put teachers on a pedestal, okay?
And that
Because
doesn't
of
go
that.
for every teacher. I've had good teachers, I've had bad ones, but the system overall that seems to be how it functions.
Yeah.
And good teachers get punished for fighting against the system, sadly.
I know, but this is why you will see me occasionally pop off on Twitter about people who have that opinion about homeschooling. Oh, they're not going to be socialized right, or they're not going to know how to interact with people right. Bullshit. I am living proof that is a fucking lie. Married for 20 years with 3 kids who are also homeschooled as well. I have a degree in industrial instrumentation. You think I would have not been able to get that if I was too stupid from homeschooling? I've got a nursing license. Now I've got my own house and land. Okay, I am a success in life. Okay, by my conditions. It was a little bit of culture clash when I went to tech school, but by then I had kind of matured enough. And you see how people, the people that homeschooling is a little more common now. It was not common in the 90s. And those weirdos who think that homeschooling stunts your kids somehow, my mother was like a bear against these people because she got it from family, friends, church people that we went to. John's not gonna grow up right. He's not gonna grow up right if you homeschool him. And it wound up being horseshit. And now it's common. Now it's common enough, and it's exploding. And it's just cope from the pro school people. But that left me with a lot of time at home when in the 90s. That was one of the 2 things that happened. Here's the second one, and I want you guys to prepare for pain. Okay, this is gonna hurt. In 1992, my father sold his '69 Chevelle. Yeah, he had a work truck, and the Chevelle.
Enough?
Hold on. Apparently so. He sold the Chevelle because my mom's not a great driver at times, and he was getting scratches and dings, and he was like, okay, it's bad on gas mileage. So he sold that, used the money, got a different car. But with the spare money that he had left over for Christmas, he got us our first home PC. It was an old Hewlett Packard, right? Top of the line at the time it came out, but it had, some games and all kinds of stuff, and it had Microsoft Word. And I sat down with all the time in the world in the 90s. And what did I do? I just said, I want to write a story. So I wrote one, and I kept doing it, and I kept doing it. And I found out my cousin in Texas also wrote stories. So we write stories, print them out, mail them to each other, talk about them. And that started the whole lifelong love of storytelling, along with, the novels that I had started reading as a teenager. And after about 15 years of hobby writing, I got it in my head in the mid 2000s. Look, I'm writing this stuff. It's not going nowhere, but it's good. And I wondered to myself, am I good enough to become a novelist? I think that I am. So I started down that path. And at the time, that was when Tradpub was the only way to go, right? Back then, if you self-published, you had to go through a vanity press. You had to pay someone thousands of dollars to print up copies of your book, and you had no online presence, no online marketing.
Online didn't exist like
not,
it does.
Not like it is now.
Oh God, no, dude. I remember the first. I remember seeing it when I was a kid, and then somebody had posted, or no, it was it was at my parents' house, and they had the Today Show on or something like that, right? Because my parents still have like traditional television, and like the Today Show was on, and they were like, oh, 25 years ago was when we first heard about this thing called email. And they were playing the episode of their reaction to what email was from the 90s. And so they replayed that, and I was like, and they're like, yeah, you can send a message and it'll get to people in, within like the hour.
They thought it was going to be the end of the post office.
Dude, oh my God, yeah. Like but they weren't freaking out about it. They're like, it's the most amazing technology ever. Remember how long email used to take? Email, like, dude,
Back in those days, we used to call it the information superhighway.
Dude, if you got an email within an hour, like, I remember my parents telling me, they're like, you are not allowed to be on the phone tonight. I'm like, I was just going to call my buddy and my cousins. And they're like, no.
Oh, yeah,
Because dial up, right?
It was the equivalent of having a long distance phone call. Kids who remember that, my gosh.
Yep. Oh, my goodness, man. But yeah, but there was no online like this now. So what you're saying about trying to be indie published back in the day, which is, again, what
there
we have now makes it both
to...
easier and harder because
right.
It's like back then you kind of you had to jump through hoops and hopefully you were good and not just pushed by the big trad publishers, right?
Right. But at that time, the chance of being discovered in the slush pile was still a little more viable compared to what we have these days, where let's just say our demographic is filtered out immediately.
Yeah. I mean, well, and like I said, I mean, everybody can publish now. Everybody can be published. Everybody can be, say that they've got a book. Everybody and there is so much out there. I mean, the online world now has been opened up to everyone and their brother and their retarded cousin.
Right.
And all of them say that they can write a book. What?
I'm the retarded cousin.
I'm the retarded cousin. I know you wrote about orcs. Anyway,
let me tell you this: authors out there who suffer from imposter syndrome. Let me tell you, a self-deprecating sense of humor insulates you from a lot of that. Be the first person to say my shit sucks.
Mm-hmm.
And someone comes and says, "Hey man, your book stinks." You just say, "Yeah, I know. Sorry."
Hey,
you gotta brush it off.
Like what? What does it stink like? Like, are we dog poop, cow poop? Like,
Joshua Scott Edwards. John is our special friend. Hang on. I will always stop to show my friends. Joshua Scott Edwards, author of An Ocean of Others. This is a great Halloween read, by the way, guys.
Oh, God. My voice is going to be gone tomorrow.
When I first heard about, I'll tell you this, at the time when I was still trying, I've written about 4 or 5 novels completely. Most of them were less than like 100,000 words, and they're bad. I ain't gonna lie, they're bad. And like twice as many that were half finished, and I just kind of lost interest halfway through. Every writer struggles through that. Stuff that was so bad that God actually killed the computer that those books were on, probably for good reason.
God killed the computer.
God killed my computers. In a similar way.
Hold on. How did God kill your computers?
I was in a flood in 2016. Do you remember hearing about the 1,000-year flood in Louisiana?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe.
There was severe flooding. It was literally my hometown, and I was literally at ground zero. I was literally, I had to use that word so much. I was in that flood. I was walking through that flood. I had gone to work.
And people were like, oh my God, yeah, I know. No. John was like, no. Like I was in the flood.
I can bring up the footage I took on my phone because I've
seen some of the pictures.
That's nuts.
I started streaming it because I wanted the people who were following me on Facebook to start calling 911 for me. It didn't matter. The 911 center flooded, so like there was nobody to really pick up the phone. But I can bring that. I meant to make a video on this year to show everyone what we kind of went through, but it didn't really turn out that way. And I have to scroll down a long way. What the fuck? No. I had to scroll down on it. I was live streaming this, and I was kind of torn between I can save some of my battery in case I need to call Wendy, because Wendy and the kids were my wife and the kids were stuck in the flood at my house. I had gone to work. The floodwaters came in, and by the time I started walking in the floodwaters, it was like knee deep. By the time I got to their house, it was chest deep. Ugh. And we had to wait.
That is dangerous as hell in floodwaters.
You want to know what I was going through? If you're in a river
that you know, not so dangerous. In floodwater, where you have no idea what is in that water, And I'm not talking about animals. I'm talking about all the needles, all of the stuff that gets picked up and flushed out of the sewer systems, all of the potential fecal matter. Like being chest deep water in flood condition is highly dangerous, man. And the fact, and I'm sure that you know that based off of your background.
But
so,
I was not about to leave my wife and children in the middle of a fucking flood.
No. Oh, hell no. I wouldn't
by themselves. Even though we couldn't get anywhere by the time I got to them, I was still not going to let that happen.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the reason I say God killed the flood came, and one of the first things it destroyed was the computer, which the tower was on the floor. So like by the time I got to the house, like that was gone. But that was like the very least of the things that I was worried about by that point. Like we lost almost everything that we owned. And bought our cars. We only had the clothes on our back. We got when the Cajun Navy got us, all we had was the clothes on our back and a garbage bag full of baby formula. That was it. That was all we could get out of there with.
Jeez.
It was pretty harrowing. I can't find it. It would take too long to find it right now. Maybe but I'm gonna tell that story in full and show it one day. Yeah, that flood came about and killed the computer that had my terrible novels on it. So then when we recovered and got back in the house,
Douglas, Orc Daddy, says AC Pritchard.
I had to start over from scratch. And that's about the time that building a novel, how to do it from start to finish, kind of started clicking in the head, right? Because until that point, I'd been hobby writing and doing it on what was the precursor to Royal Road, which is fictionpress.org, where you post chapter by chapter. And to me, that didn't help me because that's not how I write a novel now. And it was the wrong muscle memory. Like you're learning to play the piano. So what do you do first thing in the morning? You start playing a little guitar, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's not exactly good. You get what I'm saying, right? That's that's an analogy that makes sense. That's how I look at it. And finally, I just started to get to this point where I was thinking about things, and I've got this imagination and a touch of autism that never stops going anywhere. It's always churning. I'm always daydreaming. I'm always thinking. And yesterday, I was having to tell myself, no, John, stop thinking about the plot of book 12. You haven't got book 2 out yet. You haven't even finished that.
Book 2? That's just, the hell's book 1?
It's coming around the corner. It's on releasing
fake
on
news.
November the 13th.
Yeah, fake news.
It will be there.
I believe you, John.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Oh, you watch CNN? Okay, that's no, I gotta give John shit. Okay. So all right. So this whole fake news thing, and the reason that I'm taking the shots at John that I have been, is because everybody's like, hey, post a picture of you in your book that you would post. And for like 2 or 3 weeks in a row, John, like every time that post came up and he'd post that picture or that gif of the Fairly Odd Parents dad. And he was like, this is where I would post my book if I had one. And so basically, I just want you to know the whole, really? You have a book? Really? Like, you're actually the one that gave me the idea for that. So I just want
self-deprecating sense of humor, guys. What can I say?
You have to have that, though. If you're in any sort of online world, you have to have a self-deprecating sense of humor because, if you don't, even people who are like friends with you, some of the stuff that can get said at you just in a friendly manner can tear you to shreds. And if you are not your own, worst heckler, right? If you're not your own worst heckler, you can get torn apart hard online, So when people are like, well, you're just a fucking retard. It's like, well, yeah, I'm a retard, but you're the one arguing with me. What does that make you? You know what I mean? Like you have got to be able to give yourself crap in the best ways because it does humble you.
And I wish I kind of had it when I was being bullied, and it might have made things a little easier at the time. But it is what it is. And, I'm a lot better at handling it now. And there's a lot of indie authors that I've noticed that just being online is too much for them. Like, I got to take a break from Twitter. It's so draining on my mental health. And I'm like, all right, go ahead. I'll be here.
My favorite thing was when people were like, I have to take a mental health day. I'm like, what the fuck is a mental health day? And they're like, well, it's where you take a day off of work and you get your mind. I'm like,
A day off work and not make money?
wait, what's a day off work? A day off work is if I'm dying or there is a blizzard outside and we are in a state emergency. Well, you're just gonna take a day off work to what? Be with your thoughts? The fuck is wrong with you?
My dad is such a hard worker that he cannot watch a movie all the way through. He will sit there for about 20 minutes and then he'll have to get up and he'll go check on something in his shed, or he'll go outside, smoke a cigarette, come back in. He can't just sit still. Like, that's how much that man works. That I'm kind of at the same point now where if I sit down for too long, I'm just thinking, okay, I could be doing something else that's more productive than this.
Yeah, I mean, and there is a lot of that. Did we just go down, guys? Are we still live in the chat? No,
All right,
sorry.
Snow,
YouTube Studio is telling me that we just went. It's buffering on my end. No, the chat's disconnected.
Oh, really?
It's very weird.
Yeah, it's moving. And if it's popped out, I see it moving.
I see an ad.
There goes Royce on my end.
Guilty Gear says yes. Nope. Eric Wag says no. I see.
I have the power.
Yes.
I see.
Richard has now taken over.
What the?
We've gotten rid of him.
We lost Royce.
Hey, we're all kids.
Okay, so we lost Royce. In the meantime, guys, head over to johnnydouglas.com and subscribe to my newsletter. You will get 5 free sample chapters, all of it thrown together basically in one big chunk. It's 5 chapters of the actual book. And in the meantime, that's something to tide you over. You're kind of curious about what the book's like. But
so tell us what give us the back cover blurb, since we can't look at that quite yet. What's the back cover blurb on your book?
I can tell you that exactly right now when I bring that up, because I don't actually have that with me.
You don't have it memorized? My goodness.
No, I don't. In fact,
oh my goodness,
a lot of authors I noticed struggle with that kind of thing. The blurb, they painstaking to them. Some of them like agonize over it, and I'm like, it's not that bad, guys.
Which one is this?
Which one is what?
What coffee did you use?
Well, that is the I think it's the candy cane. It's either the candy cane or the peppermint mocha. My wife's asking me what coffee I made. Yeah, now I gotta go digging through my stuff.
Stuff on the bottom, it's like chocolate.
Well,
it's the coffee.
I feel like the stream is coming unglued here.
It usually does about this point. It's kind of funny when it's happening when Royce isn't here though. I'm going to.
What's this?
That's water. Say hello to the chat since they can hear you. Hold on.
Tastes like water.
I was gonna say, speaking of while we're filling the void here, Daniel, do you happen to be wearing a Eric Wag t-shirt there? Very fancy. I like it. It's
apparently my internet
sword and motivation. No, there he is. He's back.
Hey,
it's the cast fireball one. Richard has the power.
My hard
tried to move you over.
Is not working, so stop touching stuff, Richard.
I'm trying to move it back.
Richard's trying to take over.
No, my hardline connection's not working, which is suspect.
Unfortunate.
So, yeah,
it's probably the NSA.
Yep.
No, I would imagine.
They're trying to shut down the homeschoolers.
No. So here's what my guess is, and it's just a random educated guess. It's probably the 5-month-old, 6-month-old German Shepherd chasing cats through my damn house, and they're screwing with the lines that are kind of plugged into the wall.
That weird root that came up and you had to put back in the ground whenever you were digging that fence post hole last week, Royce, that was is actually your your Ethernet cable, your fiber cable.
Actually, no, it wouldn't. I can, you know, those little flags that they put in the yard to like show people they're all different kinds of colors for different utilities.
Oh, that you don't have to call those people. You can just kind of guess.
But no, what you do is you take one of those flags, you take the actual flag part off of it, and you bend that little metal rod. I can find every single utility around your house, and I can show you directional flow around your house with one of those rods.
Oh.
It's when you work around underground utilities, you pick up some tricks. So it was actually, fun construction worker stuff that you get to figure out, and you're just like, let me show you something. It's pretty, it's really funny when you actually show it to people and how it works, and they're like, wait, how did you can find my water line with that? I'm like, yep. And they're like, how? And I'm like, guys, it's literally
the government gets the technology before we do. You got to remember that.
It's a freaking stick. It's a tiny metal rod. It's not even like great. They used to like to call these things divining rods back in the day. It's actually how they used to find underwater there's
some guys who swear by them things and say, look, they're real. And I'm like,
dude, no, I'm telling you, I can tell you where every utility around your house is within a foot of where it is. And I can tell you probably within 6 inches of how deep it's buried with one of those.
Well, that's not very impressive in my backyard because my entire backyard's like 2 feet in either direction. So
at that point, is it even a yard or is it a back patch?
It is basically a postage stamp, I think is the technical term for it.
Oh, postage stamp. Yes, there you go. There you go.
It costs about $300,000 in California.
Yeah, probably would. Actually, it probably cost a lot more than that in California.
The people who were asking a little earlier, the artist for the cover is J. Caleb Designs. He also, I got him because he did the cover for The Hellborn King by my friend Christopher Brenning. This guy's work is pretty freaking phenomenal. And one thing he really knows how to do is use colors to make it pop. When I sent him my initial workup for the cover, it was actually very different. It was actually based off of Neutron Bohr's picture of that he did for me a while ago. You've probably seen it on my Twitter feed every now and then.
Yeah.
And when he sent this to me, and I was like, that's not even the pose that I sent him all my instructions. I was like, this is not even the pose that I put. But the more I stared at it, the more I looked at it, I'm like, oh, this is better. This is much better than what I tried to give him. So his instinct was right on the money. So I have to say, he was worth every penny of it. He only just couldn't get to me because he was back. He couldn't get to me until September. My initial soft release date was like August 5th, which was my birthday, and that felt fitting. And I hated that I couldn't make it. Felt like a failure, but it's all cool. So now we've got this cover, which is fantastic.
You're a construction guy. You understand. You can always push the completion date back.
Yeah, but I can't help it.
I know.
I can't help it. It is.
I get you.
While you were gone, Richard asked me to bring this up so I could read the blurb. Which
no, I'm good with it. I didn't mean to be gone. I should be on hardline internet.
Royce.
I'm not.
Quit apologizing, Canadian.
Yeah, he got you there.
But I'm mostly Canadian, so that's kind of true.
I can't help it. And look, and I'm Cajun, so technically I'm like a bastard Canadian as well.
Not unless you came from Canada. We're definitely.
My people came from Canada.
Oh, they did. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Then you're.
So
well, and most Cajuns are also from France, which is where my part of the Canadians are from. So we're both French. We should both be shamed.
It's also a Sonny Ball.
What?
That's a little Cajun for you.
Oh God.
So, and reading blurbs is actually what I do. If you guys have ever watched my book reviews, that's what I do for most of the beginning of my book reviews. Is I read the blurb in the best epic voice that I can manage. Add some music and some filters and try to make an indie author's book review come with a little bit of awesome and epicness to it, because most of the booktubers, they just sit there and they sit and they talk about the book. I do that too, but I felt like I want to add a little something to it. And it's a lot of, it's good video editing practice too.
Mm-hmm.
When I really buckle down and focus on one thing, I can actually do something that's somewhat impressive. But I'm not going to stop writing books, though. Mostly practice for myself. So,
Ow.
yeah, all right.
Well,
No,
I
still dying.
Well, hey, just hit cough. I'll take over the show from here. Just hit the
yeah,
cough button.
go ahead. Let's hear this blurb.
Let me do a little talking, Royce. Just let me do a little talking. I love your commentary.
I was gone for like 5 minutes.
And then you came in
You
and
didn't get this done yet? Come on.
it took me forever to find it.
Get
Like,
on
I've got-
with it.
I'm Gen X, but I've got
It took him forever to find this book that he supposedly wrote. Took forever to find. He's probably telling some like AI program to like quick write a blurb for him, and he was just waiting for it to render.
Do I look like Shad to you?
No, I'm just
Okay.
saying. Like I'm not
A little bit.
You were like, "Hey, I have a book," and I'm like, "That's really cool." I still don't see a book in your hands.
I'm hoping to. Don't worry. You're not going to miss that. You're not going to miss that when it happens. I promise.
That's the moment where John died a little inside.
Well, look, funny story. Hold on. Funny story. You're not the first guy to give me this shit, okay? Over on Facebook, I got a friend, a Canadian actually, named Roger.
Oh.
Roger's a good friend from my DDP yoga days. But
Jeff, where's your damn book? I've been waiting for it forever.
he used to give me that shit. Hey, how's the book coming along? And finally, when I got the first manuscript done, before any editing happened, he was the first one to jump and said, I want a copy. I said, okay. Now, I've been through this before with friends and family who ask for a copy of something I wrote and then they never read it. One of the harshest pieces of advice I can give to any writer is that friends and family are not your audience.
Mm-hmm.
Don't look to them for validation.
Yep.
If you get it, that's great. But if you don't, just expect that not everyone's as into what you're doing as you are.
Right.
And
I learned that as a musician. And I will say this. Your friends and family will be 100% less likely to share a post that you put on social media as your most least interested fan.
All right.
Your friends and family will be 100% less likely to share something of yours as your most least interested fan. Like, and I will take that to the grave because I've seen it time and time again. About the only exception to that rule is mothers. Like, mothers are there for their children, and they like your mom will always be your number one fan. I don't care if you're married, I don't care if you got kids, I don't care if your mother is still drawing breath, she will always be your number one fan if she is a good mother. And that's just how that works. Outside of that, your dad ain't going to share your post, your brothers ain't going to share your post, your sisters aren't going to share your post, your best friend who you've known for 13 years, he ain't going to share it.
I have 1,100 Facebook friends. Mm-hmm. You know how many of them come over to my YouTube stuff when I put up links? Like none. There's TJ's one exception because me and him kind of met through Facebook. Mm-hmm. But when I post up, pictures of the kids or little bits of, slice of life stuff, I get dozens of remarks and, likes and things of that nature. Wow. But you can't expect that from your friends and family. It's okay. Mm-hmm. Focus on your audience. Friends and family are not your audience.
Yep.
It's great if they read it and they love it and they validate it. But probably one of the saddest things I've ever seen, Royce, in when I was more involved in the DDPO community, which is, a lot about a very positive community and especially about working out and losing weight. I've known guys who lost weight and got, they went from being fat and they got slim and fit, and several of them lost their wives because their wives psychologically had themselves painted as the hot one or better than their fat husband. And when they lost the husbands lost that weight, the wives saw it as some kind of a psychological attack. They took it bad. You notice how many, like think about Eric July's detractors, right? None of them cared about Eric until he was successful with his comic book. Mm-hmm. There are some people, and it may come from your family, that if you succeed past a point, that they feel you don't deserve,
Mhm.
they may not only not care, they may antagonize you over it. They may say negative things like, okay, you
Mhm.
wrote a book, but it's indie. You're not really published. You're not a real author,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
Does something of that nature,
Well,
and
you know,
because
it's
you've
tough.
done something they know psychologically know they cannot, and they resent you for it, even if they don't openly admit it.
Well, it's. I mean, and I only receive very very small amounts of that now. But people tell me they're like, your channel's just small, it's insignificant. These people don't even know who you are, and I'm like, well, some of the people you're talking about I've actually had on my channel, and I talk with somewhat regularly. And some of the other people, like somebody told me that like Eric July doesn't even know my channel exists. And I'm like, well, I didn't say anything to that guy because I was like, whatever. I was like, well, I just was like, yeah. I was like, you know what? Hey,
Come on, man. You should have shown. He put you in a thumbnail.
I know, but see, here's the thing: is I know that my audience knows that, and that guy made the comment on my YouTube channel. So now I don't need to respond to that guy, and now me and my audience get to have the butt of the joke, and it's that guy. This guy, and it's like, really? Like, did anybody else see that? And that's the joy in it for me. It's not going back and trading blows with people. It's like they want to say something to me about information they obviously don't care about acquiring. And with the exception of one time, and that was a totally different thing from some shit you fucking started on Twitter that like bled through. Like, yeah, John, yeah, I blame you. I fucking blame you for that still. But it's fun when people are like, X thing will never happen. X person doesn't know who you are. Just the list goes. And it's so funny as I'll just like, I don't need to respond to those people in text, or like people be like, hey, did you know this other show is talking shit about you? And it's like, that's fucking cool. I don't need to go and look what they're saying. I don't need, because that's just not my, I am not the type of person who likes to show my hand, right? I am much more the type of person to keep those cards secret, and then when I really need to, I can play them. And it's fun, and I love watching the soul destroying nature that has on people, because then that's where they start moving those goalposts. I mean, they're always going to move the goalpost. I just have my own little way of doing it. And a lot of other people don't, because of the internet age, don't play that thing the way that I like to play it. Like you, good sir, somebody will say some shit to you, and then all of a sudden my phone is blowing up and I don't know why, and I go in and I'm like, God damn it, John. And it's just John yelling at somebody, and then I got added in somewhere. I don't know where I got added in. And then
I promise you, I didn't add you in.
Wall of text.
And then John is banned once
I'm
again.
not talking about one time. It's happened like almost like half a dozen times at this point. And I just see you going at people. I'm like, the fuck is he doing? It was, dude, I was getting ready for a Sunday coffee one day, and my phone starts going off. And I mentioned it, and I was just like, yeah, my phone's been blowing up all day. John A. Douglas is just out there with a broadsword on a Sunday already. And I'm like, why? Why? And then I wonder, how the fuck did I get involved in? I don't even remember. Like, I don't even respond on Twitter anymore. I'm just like, nope, I'm not. Because if I respond to anything, eventually it's going to turn into my phone blowing up and you going at somebody with a broadsword.
My favorite insult to call people on Twitter is to call them a rectal prolapse.
That's
not going to get you banned.
No. Oh, dude, I will say this. I appreciate Mahler for giving me this one. Troglodytes. Oh my God, I love calling people troglodytes because they don't know what it means. What does that even mean? And I'm like, look it up. Get a dictionary, which was the thing I hated. My mother and my teachers and my dad, he used to always, what does that word mean? Look it up. Yeah, everybody wants to know why I'm always like, hey, let's go look up the dictionary definition. And Royce, you don't
I'll tell you what.
No, yes, I fucking do. Yes, I do. Because mom and dad and my teachers and my older brothers and sisters, everybody told me, go look it up. So you know what? Now, as a fucking 32-year-old fucking man, we're going to look it up, motherfuckers. Welcome to A Drink with Crazy.
But what's your definition of look it up? I'm going to play it earlier. I bring him up because I actually did block him recently just because I was tired. I was kind of tired because he's a guy. I encourage the Iron Age to go ahead and block him too because he is he's ankle biting at us. It's like the only interaction he gets. He was going to my friend Ryan Williamson, who's a good author. I need to have him on my show one day. And he read like the Irwin.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that guy.
he's been doing this thing where he read TJ Marquis' first page and then criticized the hell out of it. And then he did it to my friend Ryan, who does occasionally like to snipe at people on Twitter. And he got him back and read his first page. Apparently he's got a short story and he kind of tore it to pieces. You know how you
more than a short story, but I'm not going to go there on the live stream.
Yeah, I don't care what
I muted that guy, and occasionally I get like looped into conversations.
Yeah.
What are people talking about? And I see, and I'm like, oh,
inevitably
I look.
Live stream. I was like, guys, just pull the clip and just do what I do. Just post the timestamp and be like, hey, by the way, did you guys know? Like, dude, I got half a dozen people to be like, yeah, no, this guy's credibility. They're like, I actually thought he had something smart to say, but hearing that he's willing to lie, like. Half a dozen people were like, yeah, his credibility is immediately gone. After I did that, I didn't hear a peep. I still haven't heard a peep out of the guy. I think he avoids anything that I say on Twitter now. So it's kind of funny. But anyway,
But anyway, wait, where were we? What did we transition to?
I don't know.
You haven't read your blurb yet.
Yeah, the thing that we've been sitting here waiting.
Blurb, book. I know everybody.
15 minutes.
Book, buy, please. No.
Ladies and gentlemen, John A. Douglas, about to read from his fake book, a blurb from his fake book that he probably got an AI to write for him.
You motherfucker.
John, over to you.
Over to me. Yeah, thank you, Royce. I hadn't practiced my epic voice today, but I'm not going to try it. But I will read what I have so far. This is a good summation of what to look out for. And remember, if you subscribe to my newsletter at johnnadouglas.com, you'll get 5 free chapters. The first, not in order necessarily, but the first 5 chapters of the book, the prologue, 2 rag chapters, and 2 court chapters. Let me see here.
They probably
I gotta switch over.
idea what that means.
Do what?
They probably have no idea what rag chapters and court chapters mean.
We
haven't covered any of that yet.
I'll get to that in a second. Shut up, Royce.
Fuck you. It's my fucking show, you fucking dick.
No. Royce. Every other time except for this one, you always are like, oh, hey, guest. Like, this is your show. It's you.
I never said that to John tonight.
I know. That's right. He didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying
there's a reason.
So on the back of the blurb, this is the summation of the cover.
Oh, shut up!
Get him.
Spent all my time laughing at Royce on my one appearance on the show. I finally get my own show. I'm spending most of it going back and forth with Royce.
Like you didn't know this was going to happen.
Well, I think everybody's already chomping at the bit to get a hold of the book, so that's good.
Yeah. You should. No, fuck you, Ultimate Kahuna.
That's funny. It's time because they're gonna go. Carol with the goat jokes, of course. So listen, guys, check it out. And if you want a little more information about the book, go to my channel. Look under. No, I'm selling.
Ask a question.
Okay, go ahead.
What does the blurb say? That's my question.
I was kidding.
What does the blurb say?
Would you send me? Would you send me the blurb and would you let me read the blurb like the way
It's
that I
literally
read?
right there on the screen.
Yeah, but it's really really small.
It is a little hard to see. Yes.
You
It
could
is-
just, make it full page.
my other window is.
Your
open
voice
right
will be
now.
better than mine, Royce. I agree to
I am
this.
going
No, it
because
won't.
I love doing the dumb blurb readings that I do on Wednesday on the Wednesday show, and I didn't do a Wednesday show this week. So okay.
I mean, I
this is
fully
good.
admit Royce has a better voice than me.
I do.
Is he
not.
going to make it through without coughing?
Probably not,
Are
no.
anybody taking bets?
Right.
He better.
It's a big ask.
It's a big ask. Can I do it? Are you good with it?
Permission granted.
All right. All right.
Somebody
All right.
do it.
All right. So from the top. All right. Even with that little review. A blistering debut. The Black Crown has everything you want in a hero's journey. Dramatic world building, characters to root for, and twists that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Jeffrey Spite, author of The Archives of Evelium.
He's the author of Paladin Unbound, our next Iron Age book club review.
Yes, mine will be here tomorrow.
He was tickled
It
to hear
is-
it too.
It is the dying days of the age of adventures, and the orc wars have ended. The Crown Pantheon, authoritarian rulers of Allspire, slaughtered the marauding orcs by the tens of thousands and returned peace to the continent of Evergrad. But among the many half-orc bastards left in the wake of the war, one was Prince Ragoth Birth's...
Brightsorn.
Sorry, choking on my own lungs. Brightsorn, son of the notorious warlord Thorgoth, and Serana, queen of the Namaria, the sole human-ruled kingdom. After 17 years of isolation, he is cruelly forced out of his life of luxurious comfort and into exile on the eve of his royal crowning before he can receive his gilded mark, the magic sigil that proves his royal birth. Unable to prove who he is and unable to return home, he embarks on a quest to reach his father's tribe, the Sunderfang, in the lawless wilds of Dreadmore. But his venture is not taken alone. He earns the company of Cortland Lowhelm. What is that word?
Pugilistic. It means he likes to fight.
Okay, yeah, never seen that word before in my
He
life.
likes to throw hands.
Right.
Oh,
A
yes.
pugilistic human farm boy, hell-bent on finding a legend to fill, and Deneth, a helpless elvish goodwill worker. To ensure safe passage, they acquit the service of Valmora, a world-weary veteran adventurer down on her luck. Together, they cross the kingdom of the Crown Pantheon, with nefarious forces seemingly at every step. The Black Crown is a coming-of-age epic fantasy packed to the brim with action and adventure, political intrigue, found family, vengeful dragons, dark abomination, and most of all, orcs. Available
very good,
November
Royce.
13th.
That was very good.
That's
Exceptional.
very generous, John. Very generous.
Thank you. Thank you. I don't know.
I am nothing if not magnanimous
I am nothing if not magnanimous.
and humble.
It's the greatest book ever. It's the greatest. You'll never read another book that's as great as this book. I can't do an impersonation. But...
Katie liked it. If you see her little review up there from her review in Anvil issue number 2.
Yes.
Which was
I
very
don't have
appreciated.
Anvil number 2 because Fun My Comics screwed up, and apparently that's a thing.
That's unfortunate.
It was.
It's a whole thing.
So,
At least you didn't get charged
yeah.
and
That-
not on the ledger, which did happen to one or two people apparently.
Oh no.
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh dear.
No.
MSK, to answer your questions, you'll have to read the book to find out.
Jeez.
Harsh.
SK, that guy's always coming in with that stuff.
He's something
Oh
else.
God. Boy, that
And-
actually took a lot more out of the old larynx than I thought it would.
No, I'll take that. Why don't you hit me in with the hot tag?
What?
It's a wrestling terminology.
I haven't watched wrestling since I was a kid.
Remember when the tag teams are fighting and one of them's always kept away from the other, and they finally get a chance to tag their partner in, and they come in and start knocking
See,
everyone
there you
down
go.
all at
Now
once.
you guys can do the.
I do
you can
remember
do the
this
tag.
thing.
Do the handoff.
Guys, too close now.
See,
Remember
come
I'm
on.
not,
who you're
I'm not
talking
touching
to,
you.
John.
Come
That's
on.
a little gay. I'm not. It's a little gay.
Oh my goodness.
Tag me
Here.
in, Royce. Tag me in.
Oh no. All right, tag him in. Tag him in. Go. There we go. All right.
And I come
Oh,
in.
shit, I
So,
about knocked
How
stuff over.
sad he looked.
guys, if you want to know a little more, most of you probably seen this on my channel. If you go to my channel, I have got a playlist called Age of Adventures where I dump extra lore knowledge about the world's history, the 5 hard set rules that I have for the world of Allspire. Most of those rules are set so that I can avoid making writing mistakes that I particularly not enjoyed in recent years. And those rules are, let me hold on, off the top of my head. I had them written down, but off the top of my head, no prequels. The start of the Black Crown is the start of any potential entry point into the Age of Adventures setting. The setting is Allspire. The Age of Adventures, I plan to have future novels, comics, all kinds of stuff in this one spot. So you can always go back to the Age of Adventures lore on my channel and find out more about it. But one thing that's always bugged me, I don't mind reading some people's prequels, but I get really irritated when you get 2-3 books into a series and all of a sudden the author says, guess what, guys, we're going to go back in time and flesh out an event that you have been alluded to, but you didn't actually see happen. It's like, it gets a little on my nerves, though.
I think the only time that would be warranted is, say, you get 2-3 books in and you introduce this new character that your audience just goes nuts for, and they're like, what is this guy? We want to know more about him. And it's like, all right, we'll do a tie-in novel to kind of talk about him and whatever, because I just can't fit it. It just, like, his background story, like, you guys got the gist of his background story, but here, you know what I mean? Like, you do a tie-in novel to flesh out the background in another, if the fans are done. It'd be like, you get 2 or 3 books in, you introduce the Wolverine type character, right? Mysterious background. You kind of understand where he comes from, but people are clamoring at the bit to know more about his history. I think that's about the only exception to do a prequel.
Well, regardless, I may do side stories, but the hard set origin point is the prologue. I will not go past that, which is why I don't mind detailing things in the lore about what happened in the past for figures, because I'm not going to write a prequel that goes back and details what happens in the Orc Wars, because what happened in the Orc Wars is not important. It's not Thorgoth's story. That's the end of his story. This is the beginning of his son Ragoth's story. And any future book may be anywhere in the timeline, but will always be after that point, or at the very least, any set in that, set alongside that point, parallel to that point. I have right now 2 entry point books planned. The first is the Black Crown. Next year, I'm coming out with the Lionheart. That is book entry 2, but I don't want to talk about that just yet. So there's that. No time travel, no multiverses. Death is permanent, and magic has hard limits. So I'm not trying to, some hard limits that I nerfed a lot of my wizards in my story because I don't like wizards to basically be superheroes. I like to think of them as glass cannons. And though the way the magic works in my world is basically, imagine trying to fire bullets while you're holding them with your fingers. Right? That's dangerous.
Never mind.
That's dangerous.
I've heard of it being done.
I know, but
it's not.
It's dangerous. So they use what's called a conduit, which is a wand or staff or a scepter, as a channel for it, and they have to do it precisely in order for it to actually work.
I have always wanted to see a story where you get kind of this, kind of a hot shot, wizard, and people don't realize he's a wizard, but like a hot shot wizard, kind of like, rebel without a cause type character. And his conduit is a sword. So I always thought that would be cool. It's like, okay, well, what if the wizard had a sword? It was like, well, yeah, Gandalf had a sword. No. Gandalf had a staff. And that was like, that's how he could. What if the conduit was the fucking sword? Like that would, I don't know. I thought about that years and years ago, just as a fun little play on the conduit trope, right? Or you get into, like if you're going to do like modern wizards and stuff like that, like in Harry Potter, it's like, well, okay, would an American's conduit be a 357? Like,
Yes.
what if Avada Kedavra was a fucking 357? You know what I mean? Like, just,
it kind of is.
I mean, it kind of is, but also Avada Kedavra means dick all to a 357. I'm just gonna, like, I saw a joke on Twitter, and they're like, I wonder why they never did Harry Potter in the U.S. And like, because we have guns, and that magic shit wouldn't go over well.
Admittedly, it would take a little bit of the whimsy out of Harry Potter to bring too much real world into it. That's why I like that kind of separation there.
6 syllables versus 1 second.
Right.
It is what it is.
Well, it's one of those things that, but the interesting concept behind all of that is, okay, because magic is magic, right? And in every magic show you see, they don't have guns, they don't have all the stuff, unless you start involving like superpowers. It's like, how far can you push those limits, and can you cross some of these things together? And I've always thought stuff like that was fun. Sorry, John, I didn't mean to take away. You reminded me of something that I haven't thought about in a long time.
It happens. And look, whenever someone draws me away from it, I'm in the middle of something. I'm always clinging to that. You've seen my brain malfunction on live streams before. That is a dangerous thing for me. And I've always maintained I am a much better writer than I am a speaker. Right. That was one of the impetuses for me creating a YouTube channel, was to get better at speaking, which I think marginally I've managed to accomplish somewhat, because now I can, rattle off the top of my head a lot better. Whereas I used to, be very halting and not know what to say next in public speaking. So it's kind of helped a little bit, but
it's not easy.
I digress. It's gotten easier. Yeah. I will say that. It's actually easier for me to jump on a live stream and just chit chat than it is to do a pre-recorded video. I don't know why.
Yeah, I feel you there big time.
Richard, you had a question for me?
Yeah. So I was going to ask, before I scurry out of here, like I usually do, with Rags, the main character for this, correct?
Yes.
What was your... would you describe this as kind of a coming of age story?
Yes.
And if so, like, what were the big inspirations for you in that?
Well, Rags, you have to understand, Rags is, and you have to understand how I write books. I focus as much as on the characters. Like, this whole book was reverse engineered from the characters back. And I started with a pair of side characters that were goblins. One's a half goblin, half elf. And I thought, that's interesting, because a lot of this came from creating characters for Dungeons and Dragons. Just like, what could I mix together to make something interesting? And I said, okay, what if I gave her a sister who was half orc, half goblin? She'd be like a little green Tasmanian devil. That wound up being the goblin sisters in my book, Ollie and Iggy. And then I thought, okay, what if Iggy had a brother who she shared with, who was half orc, half human? I started creating characters who are atypical of fantasy tropes that you are familiar with. So Ragoth, while he is a half orc, what comes to mind when you think half orc?
Well, I mean, it's usually the orc human,
right?
Kind of a very
that's racist.
Fangy. No,
yeah,
it basically just has the tusks, the lower jaw.
Right, they're not as big as an orc, but they're not as dumb as one either. They're kind of in D&D settings. They're more of a kind of a heavy of the group, right? They're the heavy hitter.
They're racist in D&D settings now,
right? But this isn't D&D. This is my world now.
Oh,
you're in my world.
Okay.
So Rags, taking the atypical course with Rags.
In John's world, he's using Rags. That's boy.
He is average human height. He's like 5'9", but he has unlike a lot of other half orcs, he has exceptional intelligence. When I say isolation, from birth, he lived in a library wing of the castle. And he is a voracious reader. He is a knowledge sponge, and his memory has perfect recall. So he remembers everything he reads.
So
and
he's
that
got an
comes
eidetic memory.
Right. He remembers everything he reads, and that comes into play because he's all book smarts and no street smarts. So when he's thrown into exile out into the world at large and finds it, to be hostile, he starts, he's like, he knows things that he really shouldn't know. And I even throughout the book make little points where he kind of references an exact book that he read to know something that he really shouldn't know. And I won't spoil what happens, with the shenanigans that happen to get him thrown into exile. So, he is sent out into this world. The world of the Crown Pantheon is this authoritarian, elvish kind of structure. His kingdom that he's part of is the only one that is ruled by humans. Most all of them are ruled by elves, and their society is kind of structured in such a way that the elves basically make it mostly beneficial to them. And there's other they're called Orcborn in the book, half orcs in the wake of the in the Orc Wars. And they're not well liked because they're a fresh reminder of what happened during the Orc Wars, which lasted about 20 years before it finally ended. And Rags comes to find out he's not well liked, and it's troubling him because he does not know the recent history of it, and he doesn't understand why. So in going out, he realizes he can't do this by himself. He happens across the other main character, the POV character of the book, who is Cortland. I hope Royce can hear this.
He probably can.
He's usually listening. The other, the pugilist of the story. Cortland is the opposite of Rags. Again, atypical. He is all street smarts, but not as much book smarts. But he's a little older than Rags. He is roughly in his mid-20s. Think to yourself, what if Gaston from Beauty and the Beast had said, you know what? I'm tired of this little town. I'm tired of these little people. I'm better than this town. I'm not content to be a big fish in a small pond. I'm going to leave and make something better of myself. And then also imagine you mix that together with someone whose first instinct is to fight people or launch himself in a flying tackle. And this was the creation of this was very early on in the early stages of the book. There's a part in when all three of these characters are traveling together very early on, they take respite in a barn. And I wrote that and I walked away from it. And just this gut feeling in my that I had told me something was wrong. So I went back and I reread the book from the start. When I got to that point, I realized, oh no, all three of these characters have the exact same voice. There was no distinction in their characters. I was like, okay, I've got to go back and retool these characters somewhat. So I made, Rags more bookish. Dennis, the elvish goodwill worker, is part of I made him part of this religious order called the Unexalted Faith. And essentially they're servants at heart. They're people who believe that they're meant to help serve other people. And Dennis is what's known as arc blind. He can't use magic. He's also, I put the fact that he's helpless on there for a reason. He has no skills to contribute to the party whatsoever. He can't hunt. He's a pacifist, so he can't fight. He doesn't have a bow, so he can't hunt. He doesn't know how to use anything like that. So he doesn't actually contribute anything. And Cortland gets paired up with him in his first chapter and kind of resents the fact that he's paired up. He wants to go out on an adventure to make something of himself. And he saddled with this party of a know-nothing, naive half-orc and this helpless elf who can't do anything. He's carrying the group essentially somewhat with a battered shield and a nicked sword that he stole from his job. So when I retold the characters, Dennis became more demure and very compassionate. But when I was coming up with Cortland, I was like, I got to lean into something different. And I made him the antagonistic friend, the guy that says nobody gets to kick your ass except me. And I was leaning on characters like Bakugo and Vegeta and Knuckles to and that informed all. Daniel can confirm this because he's read the book, and like it made the dynamic between these characters so much more interesting. I'm like, okay, I've got a book now, and I've got good characters and memorable characters to put in it. And right after they meet, they end up realizing, okay, Cortland can't defend us the whole way because Dreadmoor's on the other side of the continent of Evergrad.
Mm-hmm.
They use the little bit of gold that they have in order to hire a mercenary, a veteran adventurer named Valmora. I can actually share this artwork in the chat. In the screen. I'm start uploading these a little bit. You guys have probably seen some of these. That's Rags Neutron, and thanks to Neutron Boar for that. He was did a wonderful job. That was 100% Ragoth. That is 100% him all the way. I don't have a good picture of Cortland, unfortunately. I have one that's very middling, and I don't care for it all that much. But this artist captured Denny 100%, and I even made a little line in the book where Rags was sketching Denny, and then he said, "I look worried." And he's like, "Are you worried? Should I be worried?" You know, like, but that is 100% Deneth. I mean, this artist reached into my brain and reproduced this character completely. You know, I was very grateful for that. All right, and this next one, I had to go to a particular artist for Valmora. Valmora is the heavy of the group.
Mm-hmm.
Valmora is a veteran adventurer. She's a former arena champion. She's 140 years old, so she knows a lot. She knows what she's doing. But at the time that the characters meet her, she is a little bit over adventuring as a profession. And so the last thing that she wants to do is start, escorting a bunch of fresh newbies across the continent. But she's in a spot in life that she needs the money, so she kind of, reluctantly accepts the job. And once these four get together, away they go, and the adventures start.
Awesome. I love that you have all this character art too.
That was part of the marketing strategy too. Not enough indie authors do this. Get some and there's tons, guys. There's tons of artists on Twitter that are, relatively affordable. It helps, it helps people get hyped for your stuff. It keep it fresh in their minds, so they have a bit of a reference point to go to. I, as a fantasy reader, have always loved fantasy art to go along with the books, so that you have an idea of what the character looks like. Not that my imagination doesn't work; it does. But when I know exactly what they look like, and if it's not on the cover, and I don't have a reference, and I tend to imagine something that's not quite accurate. I like to have that kind of accuracy. So I provide for, my potential readers exactly what I would want as a reader. And that's why I got the cover that I did, why I've taken the approach to marketing and hyping the book that I've taken. I'm doing the things that I would want to see myself as a reader. That's why I did all the lore videos. They did some of that for Game of Thrones, and those were great to listen to. Although I don't have as good a voice as the actor that played Robert Baratheon. That guy is great. Yeah, those Game of Thrones lore videos are really, really good. And I'm old, and what I'm going to say before about atypical characters. You're heavy in your usual fantasy book is usually not the smartest one. It's usually, not the leader or the stronghold of the book. Guys, I used to take Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and one thing that's always pissed me off about game mechanics and video games and storytelling is that everybody likes to portray the heavy as, oh, they've got a lot of strength. That means they don't have a lot of intelligence. That's bullshit. I've known guys that work out excessively. I know a guy who's a strong man in a gym. I used to take Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with guys who are legit world champions. I wrestle. Do any of you guys watch UFC The Fighter? Where the up and comers?
No,
okay.
no.
The one who won it this year.
I don't watch television. I'm too busy.
Michael Harris will know this. The guy who won it, Kurt Hollabo, this year. This guy lives near me. I have grappled with this guy. He kicked my ass, of course. But the baddest of the badasses that I've ever met in my life, they are not loud and boisterous and stupid. They are smart, and they are the kind of people that when they enter a room, they don't have to make sure that everyone knows that they're the baddest. They're the ones that sit back with their arms crossed. They are quiet, contemplative, and they don't have to announce how badass they are. That's Valmora. Valmora is a professional. She is and I'm old enough to have remember when, the female being the heavy of the group is still, enough of a unique thing that it's something I wanted for mine, something I wanted for my book. And that was kind of where I came up with her. She's a professional. She's experienced. She is a pillar of experience that they lean on in their travels. And although she's a little exasperated with having to go on an adventure that she didn't necessarily want to go on, I didn't turn her into an insufferable girl boss rude bitch. Because
but everybody loves insufferable.
No, they don't.
I can't even say it with a straight
the
face.
fakest of fake news.
Dude, I can't even say it with a straight
There's
face.
a lot of fake news on this stream tonight.
I know. John's got a book, apparently. That's fake as shit.
Bryce is spreading lies.
All the time. But to answer your question, so each of these characters, I use what I call the 3 C's of character creation: conflict, complement, and
cheese.
Conflict. I forgot it. Conflict, complement, and contrast. Okay. You got to think back to really good shows that I watched in like the 90s, like Ninja Turtles, Gargoyles, Star Trek, Next Generation. These characters have to complement each other. Their different personalities cause contrast and conflict, but they're all working together towards, a same goal. And modern Hollywood writers don't do this anymore. They create a bunch of characters that are, basically Reddit archetypes, and throw them together, have them say a bunch of snarky shit to each other, and then they're
all of the things that you just talked about. The 3 tenets there are people who have actually been through some shit in life, right?
Yep.
And it's why some of the most prolific writers of the last century were soldiers. They'd seen some things, or I mean, if they weren't soldiers in a foreign war, they were fighting to get out of their own neighborhoods, their own ghettos. They'd seen death. They'd seen what real, actual harm looks like, and they know what that stuff is, and that's why they could write. That's why they could make some of the most epic stories of our time, is because they had the ideas of what actual scare you to your soul fear is. And in some instances, they understand, in some instances, a hand reached out to them and said, let's go. And they were like, I know this guy was as terrified as I was. But they, even with that fear going through them, pulled me and pulled other people out. I mean, you hear these stories constantly, and it's modern day writers. I mean, and we've created the best world we've ever lived in. I mean, and hooray for that. But at the same time, it doesn't come without its costs. The world of comfort that we live in today comes at the cost of not understanding the value in which that world was built upon. And that tends to go into our storytelling, right? It's not, none of this is obviously you speak in generalities, right? None of this is, hardline through and through, but you look at what a lot of modern media is. Unless you get a bunch of old guys on screen who remember, kind of the rough times growing up through, the 70s and 80s and seeing some trouble and some strife. I mean, it's why Top Gun Maverick was one of the best selling, or one of the highest grossing movies of the last, last few years and one of the highest praised. It's because you get some old guys in there who grew up during a time where there was trouble and strife. And so they understand how to write all that stuff, and a lot of these younger writers, these young 20-somethings, these young 30-somethings, they don't know how to write. It's why 100% I would be an absolute shit writer. I have not been through enough trouble and strife in my own life. I'm not saying that I haven't been through any, because everybody has, but I've not been through enough that I would think would make me a good writer. Point in case, a lot of the songs that I wrote that I thought were really fun, that some people would enjoy. People enjoyed them a fair amount, but the one song that people resonated with that I wrote was a song called One More. And it was a song that I really had to take myself out of my own head, and I had to put myself in the shoes of family members of mine who were going through drug addiction, who were going through interventions with the family, and not just one family member, but multiple family members. And I had to, and I literally just remember the screaming and the shouting matches with my parents and my and other family members going through this stuff. And I put that into a song. It was not my own experience I wrote about in that song, but it was an experience that was close to home for me because I saw a family member going through this. And that was the song that people latched onto. They were like, that song hits. That song hits in a different way. What you're saying, the words that you're using is true. And it was not my own experience, right? And that's one thing that I can say in my own life. Like if I, using experiences from my own life, why I would be a shit writer. But if I can tap into the experiences of others close to me and use that, maybe. But again, but again, you get a lot of these modern day writers who are surrounded by people who have the exact same experiences as them.
And the problem with a lot of the modern day writers is that they're not experienced. They have not had a lot of life experience. They've gone to college. That's their life experience. Mm-hmm. And then they go straight into the writer's room in Hollywood and the animation industry and then the comic book industry. And when you're in college, what's the highlight of your day? Mealtime and drinks with your friends, right?
Yep.
Why do you think you see so much of that in modern writing? And it's blasé, and the only strife that they've been through is their own mental health struggles. That's also why you see so much mention of therapy and so much stuff that sounds like therapy sessions, sitting around talking about your feelings in all modern shows. Guys, if my characters are going to talk about their feelings, they're going to have gone through hell to have something to actually talk about. Okay. Mm-hmm. And I believe in delivering your readers' expectations, not trying to subvert them. If I happen to subvert something, it's because I think that I'm good enough to actually pull it off. And I'm not going to go in leaning, hey, this is subvert. It's no. You're still going to get exactly what you want from a story from me. And that's my Orc-verse promise.
Verse. God fucking bless. Everybody's gonna have it. Everybody's gonna have a verse. Now, Richard, what's your verse? The Anvil verse, the Richard verse,
Anvil verse,
Media verse.
Actually, it's very funny that you say that because I might have some news about that, but not yet. Not yet.
What is up with all of you guys and just doing?
I have like hopefully 3 projects that I'll be announcing here. Well, I know for one for sure, another one very likely, and basically 2 other very likely. So we'll have 3 new projects popping up here real soon from Iron Age Media or in collaboration with Iron Age Media. So
very cool.
More projects.
Yeah.
I am falling behind. I've got to kick it in gear.
Daniel's muted himself, and
Daniel has muted himself.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I did. I said it's about time you turn into a pumpkin, right, Richard?
Yeah. It's it's a consequence of getting up early on Saturdays and trying to program and learn to do new things.
Did I answer your question effectively, Richard?
Yeah. I
Okay.
just wanted you to talk about your characters a bit.
Okay.
Royce just kept, trying to divert things into
It's all fake news.
talking about flooding or
Okay.
wait, no, that was you
Yeah.
actually.
That was
No.
What the fuck?
It
Richard?
wasn't all. I'm saying it wasn't all Royce. This
So
time.
much misinformation.
Yeah.
I've got
Not
to
all
get a
the
book. I've got to get a
misinformation
book
was
tour
Royce.
nice and scheduled, man. I'll drop by your channel anytime.
Fake
All
news.
right. Well,
And-
yeah, I was gonna say we gotta do a nice in-depth interview with you. I was looking and I need to do interviews and reviews. I've got a bunch of. I was gonna try and do a review this week, but my voice just like this afternoon has really felt good enough to talk for more than 10 minutes at a time.
And then
Yeah,
Royce
you
can
weren't
come and annoy me in the chat.
Exactly. Yeah.
You weren't kidding, Richard. You and I are kind of in the same boat on that front this week.
Yeah, it's like give it like
That's-
another based on what it sounds like. In like 2 days, you'll be like, actually, I can't believe I have all this. I didn't realize how little energy I had. That's how I felt yesterday afternoon. I was like, man, I did not realize how zapped I was from struggling to breathe all the time. But
yeah, it's funny how that. Yeah,
it's
I had to
funny how
slam
that
an
tiring.
I slammed an energy drink before the show tonight because I was like, What? So did you get that thing this week too, Richard? Where like, for like, I don't know, like 10, 20 minutes, you were like back to like 100%, and then it just left, and you were like, come on, dude.
Yeah, I was feeling good in the mornings is what it was.
Okay.
And then by the afternoons, I was just like I'm brain dead. But
Ugh.
yeah, I know there was no amount of coffee. I drank like 3 pots of coffee
Ooh, but that-
on Wednesday, trying to like push myself through it, and then that didn't work.
Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
Those
Yeah,
are
yeah.
rookie numbers.
Name a better duo, a better pair than Writers and Coffee.
Right. Well, I am going to bounce out. Thank you for swinging by, John, and indulging my questions. I'll have more questions for you once once I get to read your book. So,
All right.
that might not be
fake news of a book before I.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
He's
to
gonna
be honest,
I already read it.
It's probably not gonna get
nothing.
read.
I get nothing, and Richard gets the book and the interview.
Well, I'm gonna
after
buy the
is
book.
out.
Crazy concept.
Fake news. It's all fake news.
But
So it's
yeah, it'll
literally
probably be
already read it.
January. I'll probably talk
news.
to you
He
in
didn't read
late
anything.
December, January. You know how the holidays are. But
oh God, yeah.
I'll hit you up then. I'm gonna do my departing shill here and say go to anvilmagazine.com. Submit your stories or comics. Oh, he's gone into slideshow mode down there. Well, there we go. Anvil Magazine.
What the
Get your
fuck?
hands on those.
He just popped up.
And thank you,
Perfect.
by the way, for accepting my story. For
Yeah,
Anvil
John's
number
going to be in issue number 3,
3.
and he might even have an illustration or two. I saw.
I haven't
the,
even seen it. I'm excited.
Oh yeah,
I'm
I
excited.
saw a little bit of it. It's looking really good, and it's from a artist that has done some work with another author that we've had on the show before.
Cool.
But and you guys are going to be really pumped when you hear who the artist lineup is going to be. Lots of exciting stuff coming down for issue number 3. The campaign is going to be going up on November. I don't know if it's going to be November 15th or 13th. It'll be right around there. I need to talk to Indiegogo and make sure I'm all squared away.
Talk to me when you're ready to launch that, so I can get you back.
Yeah. I'll be doing all that stuff. But I'm kind of like digging out from underneath the pile of things that stacked up while I was laying around coughing for a week.
I'll be honest, I'm surprised y'all accepted it because nobody else really knows this, guys. But whenever it came to my Anvil submissions, I never had a good idea of what to make until the last week before submissions.
Then
I
knew this. I knew this actually. It was not a secret. First of all, you told me on the first one, and then on the second one, I went.
I know, but they didn't.
Use the word penthouse 18 times in one paragraph. I'm pretty sure he wrote this in one evening. but I knew that
sure felt
it
like
was a solid. Yeah, I was gonna say it was a solid entry. It just there was a few little rough spots where I
It's
was like,
it's
he,
it's a
he was
first
just
draft,
getting
so
through a
yeah.
paragraph right here. But no, it's a great story, and I think everybody's going to love it. Tons of great stories. Issue number 3 is going to be absolutely killer. Also, if you go to ironagemedia.com, like I said, you can buy subscriptions for the next year, ads for your stuff, and that's where you can figure out where to submit. You can also find a link to ironage.media, which is the website with all the goodies. And I did drop the link for Amble in both of them. You can also get some merchandise like this
That
nice
was
shirt.
good.
Yeah. And
That was really good.
yeah. And also the mug. I remember to bring the mug today.
Did
So
you
this
get
is
some-
the new mug.
You got some like iron-on
Nice.
patches or some like Velcro patches or something?
Well, it's funny that you should mention
Oh,
that
that's
because
badass! Yeah.
I know. Well, the problem is that this thing, if you were to buy it from where I currently have it set up, shipped to you, it would be like $18,
Mhm.
and that would make me like exactly nothing. So
You have
I'm
to
like,
buy
if I'm going to charge people, if people are going to pay $18 for a patch,
wait. Richard, touch. Did you find a solution to that?
I've found a couple of really attractive looking embroidery places in Houston.
touch base with me because
Sure.
So, and I say that because I was in the airsoft world for a long time,
Oh,
and airsoft lives and dies on their patches. And there are tons of companies out there from guys that I know that are actively using them. I mean, you've got to buy a stack of them, but it's kind of one of those,
Yeah.
the more you buy, the cheaper it gets. But
Oh,
once
yeah,
you hit once you hit that certain price, I mean, but yeah, it's not $18 a patch anymore.
So,
but
yeah. So what I'm going
but
to
I can
do
help you out
is,
if you really need it.
well, I'm probably going to angle towards trying to use somebody local just so that I can speed up the process of getting them out the door. Because what I'm going to try and do is over the the big shopping holiday weekend, I want to try and I'm going to put some polls up over the weekend about do people want embroidered patches? Do you want PVC patches? Do you want leather patches? Iron on or Velcro? These kinds of things. And then because there's people who do all of it here in town, and I'm going to go and do like a quick pre-order. And then my goal is to get these things banged out and shipped out before Christmas. So
Maybe that's what I should do is a drink with crazy patches.
that'd be cool.
I didn't even think about that, dude. I haven't thought
You
about that
know,
since my
also
airsoft
they
days.
might be willing to give us a break if we, went in together on something. Actually,
Yeah.
Royce, I was just looking, and these people, this store even has underwear options, so you could do that that mankini
Actually, one
design that you were with the
fuck off, you motherfucker.
A drink with banana hammock.
yeah, exactly.
Banana now. No, actually, something I was thinking for myself, like something that I would only do probably for me, and God knows how much it would cost. But I have been for many years. So the belt that my dad used to whoop my ass with, he couldn't wear anymore because he got too big for it. Gave it to me, and I wore that thing until the day that the buckle fell off of it. Right, it was an old Harley Davidson. It was an old like Freedom with an eagle on. I mean, you can't even we still have the buckle and the belt in the house. I won't throw that thing away. Too many beatings. It's too sentimental. But anyway, you think
I was
I'm
getting
joking?
them whoopings until my teens.
The back of the buckle where the actual like hook, the swivel part goes through. Yeah, that part broke through because the buckle I found out was actually made of like pewter or something like that. This is an old buckle from like the 80s. And I miss wearing I miss wearing my leather belts with the belt buckle. So I was like, I want to make it a drink with crazy belt buckle. Like in a drink.
I used to collect belt buckles whenever I was in like high school and college. I had a bunch of them.
I would wear the hell if I could find somebody, and I'd want a decent. But if I could find somebody to work with me to do in a drink with crazy belt buckle, like I would wear that every single day. I'd design it with because guys, that's how I am, man. I wear boots, jeans, leather belt buckle, black shirts. That's just me.
No, you know what you need, Royce?
Oh god damn it.
You need a drink with crazy coins that go into a Power Rangers morpher.
That would be Yeah, finding those vintage morphers though, dude, and then selling that.
We're going to be rambling about this for a long time.
No, like I'm down. I'm down. Like I'm
Royce
down
the
with doing
I
Beer
dropped
crazy
the link
Ranger.
in
morphing
the link in the
coins.
private chat for somebody who's local and does.
All right. I need somebody who's good with AI art to take like
Chad.
Chat. You can take the A Drink with Crazy, the neutron bore one. You can take this, all right, and do the A Drink with Crazy Power Ranger. I want to see what the hell AI art comes
Now, Royce, when you get that, you know what you got to do, right?
What?
You got to film yourself putting that in there, and instead of yelling whatever dinosaur it is, you got to go Iron Age Booty Daddy to the Power Rangers theme song.
I've got to talk with Cider Hype.
His Zord is just a giant Stein.
Oh, geez. All right. We've all got the sickness, so I'm gonna go. Anyway, I'm gonna go be sick somewhere else. John, thank you for joining us. Everybody else, thank you, chat. And I will see you all on Sunday on the Chill Stream. Talk to you later.
Good night, Richard.
Take it easy, man. Oh my goodness. Oh man.
All right, what reservist you gonna pull in here next?
I don't have a reservist for tonight.
Right, that's usually supposed to be me.
Yeah, well, yeah, and then you never.
Yeah, we're good in time for super chats.
Yeah,
you got them piled up there, buddy.
Yeah. They wanted to all throw them at me, and I'm like, guys, you're supposed to save your money, and I guess give John money for this fake book that I don't know. Had you not posted that fucking meme for like 2 weeks straight?
I posted it one time. You just saw it for 2 weeks.
Actually, Twitter is like that, dude. I'm so fucking over that.
I can tell you that the book is this size right here. 6 by 9.
I'm not reading that.
Probably about that thick. It's 193,000 words.
I'm not reading that. Dude, I struggle reading the small. Actually, I will say this though.
I think it clocked at 654 in total pages.
There's an appendix and other stuff though. So
no. I will say this though.
It takes up all of 5.
One of the cool things, and it's why I'm so appreciative of you guys. I love how. So just so you guys know, when Katie reached out and wanted to start this book club. She reached out, and me and John and TJ were like, yeah, no, we're all doing it. We're like, hey, let's do just like novellas, like 150 pages. Let's keep it short because we all have families, because, we've all got, all right, yeah, cool. Let's try to keep it to 150 pages, so on and so forth. And the first 2 books, we did that. The second book, they were like, well, let's pick it. What the fuck book did we just review? Oh yeah, Brian
Fear of
Asher's book.
Montroy.
And I was down.
Fear of Montroy.
Yeah, the Fear of Montroy. I was like, all right, well, that's over 200 pages. I was like, all right, that's fine. And the next book we're doing is 250 pages, and I'm like, all right, guys, we said 150 pages, and we are well in excess of 100 pages at this point, you sons of bitches. So where the hell did that 150 pages go? However. The cool part is that what I've been noticing is, because I usually save the book that we're going to do for book club until the week before we do the book club, so it's still fresh in the memory. And the cool part is that my reading speed is actually increasing because of that. And that's really, really cool. Because, again, as a guy who hated reading when I was a kid, because it was a chore for me, and actually, reading still puts me to sleep, so I actually have to sit. It's kind of nice that it's getting cold outside, because I can sit in my garage and just freeze my ass off, and just, only thing to keep me warm is me and the book. So, but yeah. I will say this. That's one thing that I like about the book club is it's helping. The one thing I wanted to do is make sure that my kids had a dad who read. A dad who read books. I didn't just sit down in front of the boob tube every night and watch what was on the boob tube. I actually read the books. So, but let me get to some of the super chats. Man, we got a lot of super
Me and
chats.
Katie are just this is kind of like the gateway drugs to bigger and better and more voluminous books. Bryce, once you get used to reading enough, dude, it flies so quickly. Like you'll learn how to read so much quicker. You'll want to tackle stuff that's bigger fare.
No, I won't, because of the amount of people that I need to check out still. Like because right now with the and like this week I was sicker than shit. Like I didn't do anything but sit there and I laid in bed and just watched like My Hero Academia, which, by the way, that fucking show has no good music. I mean, like in the show it does, but like the intro songs and the outro songs are god awful. I even brought it up in the Gilded. I was like, I like My Hero Academia.
How far are you into it? Because
all of it. I've seen every bit of it, and I fucking hate every intro song and every outro song to that show. Oh. It's all.
I kind of felt, me and my son started watching it and we enjoyed it, but I fell off after the Stained arc because at that time that was where they had dubbed it up to, and I hadn't picked it back up. But man, I have not seen a fan base turn on an anime like I have seen My Hero Academia fans turn on it, in regards mainly to where the manga is, and it's way ahead of the anime.
Yeah, and I know where the manga is. Yeah, I don't read the manga, but I follow channels that do like the weekly. They cover it weekly.
Yeah, Michael St. Joseph. That's what I heard. Is that after I kind of stopped watching is where it started to like get a little lost in the weeds and didn't know what direction it wanted to go or something like that. But
I don't feel like that at all. But anyway, that's a whole other conversation. Anyway,
yeah.
But what I was saying is that it's like, oh no, because you can read the bigger, more the longer books. It's like, but that's gonna take time away from a lot of. If I have the choice between reading, so like, okay, Royce, your reading speed is much faster now. Sweet, that's awesome. I'm glad that I'm getting there as a person. I wish I would have gotten there as a kid, but I didn't. Obviously, life choices. But well, you can read this 800-page book, or I can read 4 200-page books from 4 different authors and dedicate my time to more people. I'm going to choose that option. I'm going to choose that option because I have that's what I've dedicated my channel to. And
what else you dedicated your channel to? Super chats.
Fuck you, John.
I'm getting better at transitions.
Oh, dude, my transitions are the first time Kara was on. She's
that
like,
counts as better.
That was hilarious. Yeah.
It's like, that's a transition. I'm like, yeah, you'll get used to it. And she was like, what the fuck? That was the Wednesday. The Wednesday. All right. Kikomon for $2. Says, show me. Show you. Kikomon. Timo Burnham. Timo. God damn it. I can't even say
Timo.
I'm not saying
Timo.
it's Timo. It's cover time.
Timo.
Cover time. Timo. Yes, cover time. Yeah, it's a good cover, dude. It's a really good cover. It really is. Kikomon for $5. Trading blows sore throat. Royce. Sodomy is not good. Okay.
I like how he spelled it sodomy.
I know. I saw that too.
That's Kikomon for you.
Oh God, I saw that too. I was like, am I reading? I'm like, oh, that's what. Okay. Wrangler for $4.20. That's it. He drops $4.20 and bounces. Garfield's Bizarre Adventure for $20. Oh my goodness, Lord. The voice is going to feel this tomorrow. Hey, Royce. I know Norfolka was the group you were most interested in, but what are your thoughts on the upcoming Alpha Core? Eric released a teaser animation, and it looks pretty solid. Also, Warcraft Orcs, Token Orcs. I genuinely have no upcoming thoughts on Alpha Core. I am, I'm not saying I won't be excited for it after I get it and read it. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I am buying Alpha Core and Yaira because it was mentioned to me that People who subscribe to my channel like my opinion and they like my thoughts on the Eric July stuff. Because I don't really give it glowing reviews. I'm enthusiastic about it, but I don't give it glowing reviews. Not. A lot of people are like, yeah, but it's Chuck Dixon. But guys, I'm not an old school. I didn't read the comics, so I don't know what Chuck Dixon is capable of. I know that, that's where I'm at. I didn't do. I know friends of mine who read the comics. Like I said, I grew up with the cartoon shows. I had friends who read the comics. I discussed the comics, the storylines, the characters in depth with my friends. That was major topic of conversation for me. But again, I hated reading when I was a kid to the point where I would not even read a comic.
Royce, quick. Sorry. Breaking news. I know you don't have a thing for that. I'm sharing something to you. I just now noticed this. If you will share that screen, guys, pre-orders are live.
John.
It's real now, buddy.
Where's the link?
Hang on.
He'll get there. Give him a second.
Copy link. Yeah, there we go. I will drop it in the chat. I can do that because I'm a mod.
Oh my God, I made you a mod. What the fuck
You
is
made
wrong
me.
with me?
I don't know.
I don't know.
What's wrong with you. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna. You can.
While he's doing that, here,
motherfucker.
I love what Eric has been doing. My only issue with the teaser thing that got dropped is that it told me nothing. It was cool. It was visually interesting looking. But it sold me on nothing.
The official trailer drops Monday with the book.
Mm-hmm. I'll be waiting for that.
Just like in the Isom 2 trailer, there will be scenes from the comic, but just animated. It's still not going to give away story beats, but it's going to show you scenes that are potentially in the book. This was a teaser to let people know that Monday was coming.
Trailer. Yeah.
And
that makes sense.
That's literally all it was. But I half kind of watched it. I was like, it's there. Again, I'm not excited for Alpha Core because it is a criticism that I had of Isom 1, and I have said this many times on the channel. Isom 1 had
John's trying to hide evidence of his upcoming murder.
I know.
That was my son's Halloween costume.
Isom 1 had a decent amount.
He dressed up as the Pyro from Team Fortress 2.
Isom 1 had its pluses, its minuses. One of its minuses is it did some character introductions really well, I thought. It did other character introductions not well. The Alpha Core and Yaira introductions were not good.
I will admit, I don't know anything about the Alpha Core, and I didn't buy the cards, so I don't know their origin. I like their look. That's about it.
But again, so I am buying Alpha Core and Yaira because people here in the chat are like, Royce, we want to hear your opinions on it. So I am not buying these books because I'm excited about them. I am buying them because members of my community have asked me to do it. They want to hear my thoughts on it, and they want to hear me break them down. And so,
this is a thing that I wanted to mention. That's why I said what I said.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm seeing more of these lately, teaser trailers for not just comic books, but books and things.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to tease a product, make sure it's telling the consumer something, even if it's the barest minimum of things. That's why I pointed that out. That teaser was cool looking because it was animated, but it really told me nothing about the products themselves, other than there's a floating citadel in the sky.
I don't think you're looking at it in a different way, though.
I'm looking at it from a consumer standpoint. This is a comic book thing. Teasers for comics, they They tell you something about what's going to be happening.
They're there to tell you the thing is coming and to build hype. That is it.
Yeah.
They're not there to tell you anything more than that. It's thing is coming.
That's a new
build
thing.
Hype. Well, I mean, it's been what's been going on. It's traditional internet marketing that's been happening for the last about 10 years. It's thing is coming, build hype. Then in the following thing, which will hopefully be the trailer on Monday, you know, there might be a little bit more substance to it. Maybe there won't. But honestly, it's a fucking comic book. I mean, do we
Brian Niemeyer told me after our stream on Wednesday that the rule of something is 11 points of contact between a reader and wanting to buy something. So like the more that you can put out there, that kind of helps hype it. That's why I didn't talk too much about my book before it was time to really start releasing stuff to hype it up. And
or on the stream.
I may mention it, but I didn't go into too much depth in any of my streams about too often, because I have friends who have worked on like comics, and when I started getting into indie comics a couple years ago, and like they have concepts, but they haven't launched a campaign. They only have their concept arts, and they've been slowly trying to get the comic made, but they were like hyping their comic every other day. And it's like, okay, I'm hyped for it, but where is it? Where's the campaign? I want to back it. That's why I waited until now to really start dropping the heavy stuff, because the book's almost here.
Well, and hype only lasts so long. And that's one thing I'll give. That's actually one thing I'll give to Eric is he's only dropped the big things. Hey guys, Chuck Dixon's writing Alpha Core. You said you wanted it. We got Dixon to write Alpha Core, and people were like, "Holy!" And after that, you didn't hear a fucking word about Alpha Core for a while, right? Because they were working on ISOM 2. And then once ISOM 2 was done, hey guys, we're going full bore into Alpha Core. Get ready, right? And it's like, oh shit. Now here's the trailer drop, or the teaser drop, right? So they're doing some of that. Again, it's to build hype. I think
my issue with the hype thing is that it does very little other than shock and awe. And I get that that's kind of the purpose, but my whole background on all of this is like, even in television, when they do teasers, there is something there that is a hook. Everything that you market should have a hook of some kind.
The hook was Chuck Dixon's writing Alpha Core.
No, I'm talking about the teaser video.
Well, yeah, the hook is it's coming on Monday. That's but again, it's a different. It is to re-engage a fan base that, because it's been a while. It's to reinvigorate and let people know ahead of launch date. Hey guys, get excited
for an established audience. Yeah. So what I'm saying, what I was trying to get to was, we see what Eric's doing.
Yes.
And I see the same thing being mimicked by much smaller creators.
Yes.
Don't do that. You don't have an audience to hype yet. You need to hook people.
And here's the biggest problem here's the biggest issue that smaller creators trying to mimic Eric July. This is the biggest issue that they're trying to do. But Eric did it this way. He did. You're right. Eric did do that. Right. You know what else Eric did? He spent 10 fucking years of his life building an audience before he did any of that shit.
Correct.
He spent a decade of his life building an audience, building trust with people, hundreds of thousands of people who watched him daily to listen to his thoughts about culture, to listen to his thoughts about different politics and economic systems, and talk about his thoughts on Thomas Sowell, and talk about his thoughts on the Marvel universe for 10 fucking years. He released music in that time for 10 fucking years. This guy built an audience, and now he's like, hey guys, I have this comic book that I would like to sell to you. Would you like to buy it? And his audience that he spent 10 fucking years building is like, yeah, we'd like to buy it. So, to anybody out there, have you spent 10 years of your life building hundreds of thousands of people to follow you before you try any of the other shit that Eric July is doing? If the answer is no, then guess what? You can't follow his fucking business path.
From a marketing perspective, universally, even in big mainstream stuff, the teaser has a hook. And that's the point I want to make here. Is that particular one we can only speculate. It may or may not have been directed solely at the audience that's already involved in the Rippaverse. But from a universal marketing standpoint, everything that you put out should have a hook to the potential consumer. If it doesn't, it's wasted energy. Not for Eric specifically, because he has an audience to hype, but for everybody else out there, everything you put out needs to have a hook to draw a consumer in.
Yep. John?
Yo.
What are you doing?
Well, I noticed on the pre-order page, it said my book is 650 something pages. I was just seeing how thick some of these other thick ass books I got. And mine is actually just a little thicker than my friend Chris Brenning's. So
yeah, like I said, I think it's 654.
Wait, are you doing a thickness contest with another
dude
is right now?
He is literally big book measuring.
Yeah, hey, it's an author thing you wouldn't understand.
He can say that now. His book is pre-order active.
Right.
I still don't see a book.
Royce is just going to be a book denier.
He's just not going to like the memes.
If I have the fucking thing in my hand, I have decided I am going to review that son of a bitch with my Roger voice. I will even take the time to get multiple different Roger poses to animate, and I will do a fucking animated avatar. Like,
I will pay money to see that.
The son of a bitch John decided to come out with the book, right? It's not real. All the pages are blank. Oh, hey, look at that. She's kind of...
It's not Michael Knowles.
Right.
That's John, the gayest thing you've ever done. And you've done some gay things.
What's that?
What you just did.
Oh, the Roger.
If he thinks he's going to pull this shit, I'm going to conspire with the chat to send him an entire box of wardrobe stuff to change into for the video.
The fucking... Just
wigs and clothes.
Do you guys have any idea the production that takes to do that? Like, I did my Dr. Stone video,
look
and
at
that took me...
Super chats.
I know. Super chats. John, I know you got to get going here soon, buddy. Because
I do. I've got pressing concerns.
Before the hand comes out of the left side of his screen and throttles him.
I've actually seen things get thrown at you.
Yeah.
Or she'll just cut off the internet.
She's done it before just to mess with me.
Well, before that happens, good sir. I mean, my internet just cuts itself off. My internet likes to commit Harry Carey now. That's just a thing. So John A. Douglas, good sir, where can we find you? What is this fake book that you have?
We can find him in super chats.
We can find him in super chats.
You can find me primarily on YouTube and Twitter. They're the two biggest places that I'm most prominent. Anyone that's interested in my lore for my books can look in the Age of Adventures playlist. You can find me on Twitter as @BLK Crown Author, which is my newest handle since John A. Douglas is now no longer defunct. Although after talking to Brian Neymar, I may be able to get it back. He gave me a couple tips, so we'll see.
Get you out of the bully box.
Yeah, the pre-orders for the ebook are live. The paperback version should be live shortly after. You can find me on a variety of social. I have a Facebook page now for my author Facebook page. I'm on Minds. I'm on Instagram, but I'm not present there all that much. I haven't figured out how to use that effectively like some other authors have. So might be working on that a little bit in the future. Who knows?
Attaboy.
For those of you that may not be aware, there is a QR code in the back of the book that will take you to a link tree for all of John's social media and contact.
And I have a website now. JohnADouglas.com. You can go there, subscribe to my newsletter. You can get a sample chapter.
And do you guys know where you can find all of these links?
In the description?
In the description of this very live stream.
You're a
You
good
don't
YouTuber,
say.
Royce.
You
You're
don't.
a good YouTuber.
I know. I try. I literally messaged John today. I was like, John, send me your links. And John, by the way, thank you. John actually formatted the links, so all I had to do was copy and throw them right in. And I was like, and they
I got
come
them
all jumbled to fuck. Like some people send me their links and I copy and paste them, and they're all John.
That's because I got mine ready to copy paste on my own descriptions.
So you know how it goes.
Oh yeah.
I appreciate you, man, dude. I appreciate you. Well, and by the way, before they decide to hang us from trees or something, we've got to set up that blue collar stream.
Yeah,
because
that's going to happen.
The boys are going to want to do that, and after I can't believe we kind of started off on that tonight, but yeah, we got to do the blue collar stream and just do one for the boys. Maybe we do the blue collar stream. I'll have you run it, and I'll go outside and fire up the smoker or something. We'll eat like chicken wings or something on the smoker. Yeah.
Between industrial, electrical work and nursing, dude, I could go for hours.
Oh, dude.
In nursing school, I spent 1 year as an overnight tech in the ER.
Ugh.
I have seen some shit.
Oh, hey, John, I had an idea.
Make it a quick idea.
Smoked gumbo.
So he doesn't get killed.
Getting a big old pot of gumbo.
Yeah.
Starting it off on, you got to start off on the stove so you get your roux and stuff going. And then you put it in the smoker and let that smoke infuse some of the broth and stuff like that.
You're a madman, Royce. I love it. I may actually have to try this.
Dude, like I've actually heard from some people who've smoked like stews and stuff. They're like, because you bring it up to 250, 300, whatever, just a slow boil like you normally would, or just a slow simmer, whatever.
You may have to try this.
No different than stovetop, but the difference is you're sitting there and you're infusing that liquid with that. Daniel and I were talking about it last week.
Truth.
Yeah, truth. All right, man. Well, I got super chats.
And I got to get going. But
all righty, man.
Royce, Daniel, Richard, you're not here, though. Thanks, guys, for having me on. It's been a pleasure. Been looking forward to this for a long time. And it won't be the last time.
All right, man. No, hopefully not. Hopefully you'll be back with a book next time.
I will be back with a book and a comic, hopefully.
There you go. Boy,
I'm not gonna let the indie comics craze.
A lot of fake news. Just
You know what else is fake?
What?
I ain't gonna say it.
I'm
chicken out.
He's like,
I ain't chicken out. I ain't gonna do that to you. I like
go.
you too much. I can't do it.
Al, you son of a bitch. All righty, man. I'll talk with you later, dude.
Good night, John.
Later.
Good night, man.
Fuck you, Royce.
Fuck you, son of a bitch. Damn it. I love the fuck out of that guy. Oh, shit. Oh, man. Oh, God. All right. Over on Rumble. Skunk's Workshop. He's been dropping some member chats and some super chats. Let's catch up over there. Skunk's Workshop dropped a bunch of chats. So let's go through them all. These are all members chats. And our job is to entertain so well that you want to stay seated. What was that in reference to? Do you remember?
No.
Oh, that was a while ago, man. That was a while ago. Skunk's Workshop. We want blurb. We want blurb. And epic voice. I thought I did the blurb okay. I was a little off. I was kind of fighting the cough back on that.
I think he was hoping for John's epic voice doing the blurb.
I don't know. I asked if I could. He said, I like reading that stuff out loud. It makes you a better public speaker. It really does.
True.
We were by the time we were in the so I tell everybody by the time we were in the 4th grade we had to write 500-word essays. Right? I've said this many times. You guys have heard me tell you that. The thing that I haven't said yet is that because by the time we were in the 5th grade, we were eligible for the mandatory school speeches. I went to a very small school. There were only like 40 kids from like 1st grade to high school. But school speeches were every 2 weeks on Tuesdays. And everybody from 5th grade up to 12th grade had to write a speech every single week that was researched, documented, approved by their teachers, and then they had to get up and they had to read that speech. And it had to be for the younger grades. For the younger grades, I think we were able to get away with 1,000 words in the 5th grade. And by the way, we were also graded on those. We were graded on penmanship, punctuations, grammar. Penmanship. We had to write. We couldn't print. There was no such thing as printing. After the second grade, printing was gone. There was no more printing. It didn't exist.
Cursive or bust.
Yeah. That's why I tell people I know how to write. I don't know how to print. But yeah. So by the time I was in the 5th grade, I was doing school speeches. So because it was mandatory, and there was 1,000 words. 1,000 words, handwritten at the time, well-researched, had to be approved by a teacher. And guess what? By the time you actually got there, you were on your 3rd or 4th draft. So you'd handwritten within 2 weeks as a 5th grader. You'd handwritten that same speech. And the teachers would count. They would count the words. They had the time. But yeah, you would. So you basically hand wrote. I think by the time I hit the 3rd draft, I was usually fairly well approved. You were graded on your 1st draft, and then you had to use your 1st draft to go back and correct all your mistakes and stuff. But by the time I hit my 3rd draft, so you'd handwrite 3,000 words in 2 weeks as a 5th grader. That after you did your research phase and picked your topic and all of that stuff. So yeah, that was a thing. That's the one thing that I always tell people. That's why I kind of like doing the reading stuff in public, and because that's what you're supposed to do. So, all right. Skunk's Workshop. I want so much more than this provincial life. Gaston. That's great. Skunk's Workshop. LOL, Daniel. LOL. I don't know what he means by that.
Apparently, I was super funny at some point.
Yes, you were super funny. No, I think that's when I was gone, actually, when I dipped out for a minute. Skunk's Workshop for $2. What is the name of your most brutal orc in your books? And can you share anything about him? Oh, damn it, John left. Skunk, go. I don't have an orc book. I can't answer that.
I will say this since I've read it. It's not so much about brutal, because the one orc that would be considered brutal is actually kind of a villain. But the best orc would be
name, and can you share anything about it? So the share anything
I
about
can't share that.
No.
I can't share that.
You the name?
I can say this. There is a scene with Ragoth's father Thorgoth that is absolutely fantastic. Probably my favorite part of the book. Ooh. And he is essentially the former chieftain of the orcs, and it's quite epic. So I can't really say which one is most brutal. You'll have to read the book. I think John would agree with me that that's okay to say, but probably the best one is Thorgoth. Like, his scene is fantastic. You'll love it when you read it.
There you go. Skunk's Workshop just pre-ordered the Kindle edition. He's leaving. Guess I'll have to find out for myself. No. Daniel was here. Daniel was here for you, Skunks. All right. Back over to YouTube. Carol Brown for $2. Buy your wife a goat. No. I don't want to spend money on a fucking goat. I'd rather buy lamb. I'd rather buy fucking lamb. because I like lamb and I want to buy lamb for slaughter. That's what I want to do. And everybody's like, no, you go. And I'm like, but I actually want to
Why
buy
you're going to
something.
buy 7? Some of them can be lamb for slaughter. The rest she gets to keep.
Dude, I buy 7 fucking goats. I'm telling you right now, 5 of them sons of bitches are getting slaughtered. I will feel my. I don't know what goat meat.
There was nothing that says you can't slaughter them for meat.
Yeah, I start posting pictures of that on Twitter, though. People are going to lose their fucking minds. Oh my God, what are you doing, that poor little goat? Shut up. It was fucking dead before I bled it.
It's delicious. That's what.
You get a 20-pound splitting maul, I promise you, that goat ain't getting back up.
Railroad spike and a hammer, that'll do the trick.
Yeah. You got to keep them still for that, though. So, well, I guess you can put it. Never mind. Never mind. There are people in the chat that like
we're not gonna go there because I could give you tips on how to do it quick.
I know exactly what you're talking about, and you get them in like stocks, and problem is I don't like doing that because I don't like the animal to be afraid before they die. So for me, it's kind of a 22 or bust. You can do it with a 22 right at the back, let them know that they're loved, let them go out being loved. That's just kind of where I'm at. I don't know. A lot of people are like, stop talking about slaughtering animals. What are you talking about? Like, where the fuck do you think your fucking hamburger comes from? Sorry.
And most of the time they use the same process.
I scratched the ears of a pig and pet a fucking hog that we were gutting 30 minutes later.
For those of you that may or may not be aware from previous episodes of Iron Age Nights, I used to be a knocker at a meat packing plant. I've mentioned this before.
That's a rough job, man.
Then we used basically, for all intents and purposes, it was a cap gun that we used to very quickly end these beasts' life so they could be processed.
Nope.
It was a short-lived job, but I did it.
I've heard it was rough. I've heard a lot of people don't make it about 6 months in that one.
I quit at the 4-month mark.
Yeah. Most people don't make it 6 months because it's hard, because you don't want to do that. That's why, it is
8 hours a day
to raise your own, and then once a year. Because as somebody who grew up, slaughtering chickens and all that, and then we did the pigs and stuff. The cattle Dad always took off, because that's a little bit of a bigger.
Farm wise, I get the concept of growing attached to the animal and then having to do it, but it's like a once and done, when you need to sort of thing.
That's what I was about to say. It's once a year. You specifically bought the animals. You bought, the chickens. You only raise them. You don't raise them very long. A couple months if you got a certain, depending on what breed you get, and then you go out and you slaughter them. But it's still one of those things, like, it's still one of those things. It's like that's what you do, man. And here's the thing: is my job. I was essentially the family knocker. My job was to go out, grab the birds, hang them, and bleed them. That was my job. That's what I was supposed to do. So I'd be sitting there with a knife covered in blood by the end of the day, but it was my job to go get, but and a lot of people don't realize what that is. And, and my wife, she learned what that was like when, cause she wanted to learn how to do, so she did turkeys with us one year. It is a very different, but it's also why I have a very, very different view of animals. Like, for instance, when my longtime dog Milo got put down, he was put down. I wasn't at the house, right? If I would have done it, and I tell people this, if I could have done it my way, but I couldn't because he couldn't wait for the weekend. I said I would have, because he was my boy, and he was hurting, but I would have given him a cheeseburger. I'd taken him out. I'd have got him a cheeseburger from Hardee's. I'd have talked to a local farmer out here and said, hey, can I go out and just take my dog for one last walk? And I'd have put him out myself. I didn't have that well, Milo didn't have that option. He didn't have much more left in him, and I wasn't going to make him wait. But he was my boy, and his favorite thing to do was to go out and run in the field. And I wanted to give him that last day. And a lot of people look at me and they go, how the hell could you kill your own dog? Because he's mine. That's how. Because he's mine,
Yep.
and I should have been the one to do it. And people don't understand a lot of that. But I have a very different view of it. I didn't shed a tear when Milo died because I knew it was his time. Right?
It's fair.
But again, it's that growing up and raising animals for slaughter and raising animals for a job and raising animals for, for that future that you have. It gives you a very different mentality than the domesticated, than the domesticated animals a lot of people have. So
Yeah. Take that and multiply it by essentially 5 to 6 an hour.
that would be
We had a
rough.
10-minute turnover between
That's rough.
end and
rough.
move. Yeah.
That's rough.
So
that would
in
be
an
rough.
8-hour shift, I felt like a mass murderer sometimes.
Well, no, but it's rough. You shouldn't. Again, it's death. Death is not something that we're supposed to see every day. We're like in absolute tragedies, we're supposed to see death once in a while. I mean physically. I'm not show up to a funeral. They're already laying there. I mean see it, right?
Yeah.
Seeing death, seeing the moment that it happens. We're not supposed to see that every day. That fucks us up for a reason, right? And that's why being the knocker at a slaughterhouse, that dude, it takes a special person or an insane person to be able to do that job. It does.
True.
It really, really does. Fuck.
Anyways,
Yeah.
super chats.
Yeah, I blame Carol for that one. Wrangler for 420. And feed it to a chupacabra. I am not feeding a goat to a fucking chupacabra. I just got done, Wrangler. I just got done explaining it. You wouldn't have known this several hours ago when you sent that in. I just got done explaining that I would be killing them and eating them myself.
Yeah, why would you feed it to a chupacabra?
I'll kill that fucking chupacabra and we'll have smoked chupacabra.
Might be an interesting taste.
I know. What's a chupacabra taste like? It's like rattlesnake. Wait, doesn't that taste like chicken? Everything tastes like chicken.
Yeah, everything tastes like chicken. Or rather, everything tastes like barbecue. We'll just leave it at that.
Right. Wait, why does everything taste like barbecue? Because I put it on my barbecue.
Exactly.
Oh, God. Maji Chan for $5. Dive by super chat orcs. I think she means drive by super chat orcs are my favorite Elder Scrolls PvP character. Congrats on the book, John. Fake news. There was no book tonight. Remember, everyone here is epic and a legend.
Thank you, Maji.
Oh, I will say this: my throat actually, I don't know what's going on. It's probably not a good thing, but I don't feel the pain of the cough coming on. I'm sure that's a bad thing, but it's nice.
That's the anesthetic from the throat spray.
I thought that wore off a while ago. Shit, I'm 2 beers deep. Well, it could also be the fact that
Yeah, could be beer.
Could be beer. I mean, I'm not 2 beers deep, but I'm 2 beers on stream deep. Wrangler says chupacabra quesadillas. Yes. That'd be good. No. If I did chupacabra, it would be, you gotta because you gotta figure, man, them hind legs on a chupacabra gotta be some really good dark meat.
In theory.
In theory, dude.
I
would
like how
just
we're
smoke-
talking about the culinary delicacy of fictitious creatures.
Well, and you figure the chupacabra, like, it's got to have a decent breastbones too. But you figure the arm, like, I bet the back straps on a chupacabra would be fucking lit.
Things you won't hear on any other stream,
I'm just
ladies and
saying,
gentlemen.
if we ever find a chupacabra, I will smoke that son of a bitch.
Legit.
Just, why would you not? Well, yeah, would you say that about Bigfoot? Fuck yes. What if he's the missing link? He ain't human. I mean, maybe, a few generations. He will be. I would kill a Bigfoot and smoke a Bigfoot. There's probably,
of course you would.
There's not a whole lot in this world that I wouldn't like. If I knew that it weren't like that, like some fucking,
We have turned the stream into that strange anime about cooking monsters in dungeons.
Everybody yell at me. They'd be like, would you cook a dog or a cat? I'm like, if I'm hungry enough. Times get tough enough. I'm like, yeah. How could you do that to Fluffy? Well, here's the thing. It's the end of the world.
And I'm hungry.
And Fluffy's costing resources to keep alive or can become a resource himself.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Emergency food supply.
I got some fat ass cats too.
At least one meal for the whole family.
At least one. All right. The ultimate kahuna for $5 is silence. John is goat. Therefore, he can talk. You need a goat. So, oh God, I'm not.
Oh, kahuna.
He goes,
finish it.
Well, I don't know if I can actually do it with my voice right now. Is the problem. He goes, you need a goat. So, and shh. Also, wag. You are a freaking legend. Is that Eric?
True.
Wag?
I believe so, yes.
I agree with him. There's an H there. I'm not used to that. Kid, come on for $2. Yay! We are the insignificants. Woo! When the fuck did I even need to say that? I just said don't associate with you people because you're all fucking weird. But like outside of that, I didn't say you're insignificant. Herman P. Hunter, the Lore Forge for $10.
Oh, no.
Says,
Oh, no.
Royce, you're a hand talker. How do you not show your hand? Because that's the funny part. Is because while I sit here and I'm doing all of this stuff, the hand is down on the table that you can't see.
Are we going to have to start having hand checks on this show?
No.
Bryce is like, I'll lose.
I won't lose. I just have to adjust my strategy. Kick him on for $10. The only time. Oh, wait, Chatsu, by the way, he says barbecue Nessie. Yes, dude, barbecue Nessie. Okay. So
Nessie's freshwater.
Is it freshwater?
Nessie's technically freshwater, I believe. But it's
Mm.
also a dinosaur, so if the Flintstones can do it, so can we.
It's true. It's true. What would be... You'd probably want the neck meat, though, right? Or
I don't
too
know.
Tough?
It'd be pretty tough,
Because
yeah.
I mean, the way that they always show Nessie is it's like a Lepleurodon with like a long neck, but like,
Yeah.
the way they always show Nessie is, I don't know.
So maybe it'd be more like swine. You'd want the shanks belly area.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I could see that. Yeah, that makes sense. Huh. Huh.
The weirdest conversation on Iron Age Nights ever. How to cook mythical creatures.
I would be down with that. Maybe we should start that. We should just start looking up a bunch of fucking cryptids and then just do a live stream every week and just be like, all right, so here, if we could actually capture this cryptid and cook it, people be like, what the fuck is this? We'll call it Cooking
That'd be
Cryptids.
awesome. There you go.
We're gonna call it just Cooking Cryptids and be like, all right, so I built this fucking smoker, and I'll just have the smoker in the background the whole fucking time, and I'll be like grilling like chicken and shit, because chicken's really easy. Like chicken, it's a 2-hour cook, especially if you do like chicken quarters. 2-hour cook, done, right?
For sure.
Oh God, Mario Trujillo, Royce, you can't see my hands. Channeling DSP there, aren't you, Royce? Oh Jesus, no, fucking no. Kikomon for $10. The only time I like to see a prequel is when the main character's personality or circumstances are tied deeply with his ancestors. I don't mind to see the story of the ancestors and their impact. Ooh, yeah,
Fair point.
Yeah, no, that is a fair
I have to
point,
agree with him there.
you know, but like,
from John's standpoint, the problem is that now it's become commonplace
yes,
to prequel everything, and it ruins the mystique
but you
of
can do a
beloved
history story of
concepts.
like a house long ago or something like that. Like I don't think that's too cliche. I think that could work. Kikomon, that's a good point.
Mhm.
God,
Like
bless it.
the simplest example is,
Simply put.
look at the concept of the character of the Punisher. And yes, we know the Punisher's backstory, but imagine if there was a like full length comic run that was just about Frank Castle's work before the slaughter of his family. It would be kind of cool, but it might also ruin the character in the long run. So I understand what John was saying about prequels. It's more circumstantial than that. It just gets overplayed in modern media.
My internet just crapped out again.
No. Now it's just you and me. No chat.
Yeah, hold on.
The live thing is still ticking, though.
It will, but I don't know. God, this is pissing me off. I don't know why my hardline connection's not working. All right, we're back. Kind of. I'm still frozen on screen, it looks like.
You're coming through fine for me.
I have the YouTube dashboard pulled up. I'm actually watching the live stream, as that's part of the. But yeah, so I actually have my mobile hotspot pulled up. So yeah. Sorry, I have I had a lot going on, guys, and I constantly monitor the stream. It's really pissing me off that my hardline connection's smoked tonight, and I don't know what's wrong.
Let's finish these super chats and wrap it up
Yes.
before your internet craps completely.
I know, dude, it's gonna piss me off so bad. Brian Asher for $5.
Hey,
Just dropped in. Is John's book real? Looks like a deep fake. True, Brian. It's very, very. It's not. It's not real. Like, these 3 fantastic books that I have here by Brian Asher. It's
True.
John's book is not this real. It's not.
Not yet.
It's yet.
Very soon the pre-order for the paperbacks will be
You
live. Though.
you say that. But you guys should go check out Brian Asher's books as well, because he's really cool. And also go check out John's fake book too. Mario Trujillo for $5. To quote a friend from the army, it's easy to write a new world when you're trying to escape the real one. Now shut up and pass the good whiskey. I have nothing to add to that. Like, also, what is good whiskey?
High West Double Rye.
I'm not a whiskey guy. I like my scotches.
They do a scotch as well, and a bourbon. I mean,
I have
technically,
heard of-
it's all bourbon, but
Oh yeah,
and it's all delicious. Just so you know.
it's been so long since I've actually had tested out various different levels of scotches. I will say this though. It's a Scotch whiskey blend, but Johnny Blue ain't bad. Johnny Blue ain't bad, but it's a $200 bottle. So, but if you guys can get Johnny Blue once, you should try it. It's really good. I bought it for a buddy of mine for Christmas one year, and whew, man, it's good.
I got trashed on a bottle of Inverhouse once, and yeah, that was a strange night.
I can
an
imagine.
entire bottle of Inverhouse, just so you know.
How are you alive? Never mind. Wrangler.
I'm Irish. That's how I'm alive.
Wrangler for $4.20.
Again.
That's it. Wrangler comes in. He drops $4.20 to end the fucking show.
Hey.
We did it. Daniel, where can we find you?
At Mr. DP Riley on Twitter and whimsyland.org.
Whimsyland.
As always.
Whimsyland.org, ladies and gentlemen. All right. And I will say this. Tomorrow night, hopefully, we will be playing Star Shatter. We wanted to play last week, but when we got on, one of us was on like mobile hotspot. 3 of us were dog-ass tired. And like, we were not in it last week. Like, it would not have been a good show.
Fail.
Star Shatter tomorrow night. I hope. I really hope, because I want to get the fucking Star Shuttle. I want to fly the fucking shuttle. I want to fly the shuttle.
Give him his spaceship, Black Knight. Give him his spaceship.
No, I already have the spaceship. I just want to fly the spaceship. Have
Yeah,
you not
but-
been paying attention?
Well, I meant, whatever.
Oh, yeah. You don't watch Star Shatter, do you?
I do not.
Wow. Just like that, huh? And it's in the open.
Sorry.
Shit? Just.
I don't watch TV. I barely catch most people's streams, unfortunately,
You-
because
You could
background-
at least like watch your co-hosts tabletop. Like,
I show
hey,
up for
bro.
Comic Book Wednesdays, dude.
I
That's
think
as
you
much
know,
commitment
you do
as I
some
can
cool-
give
no,
you.
Yeah, it's fine. No, yeah, that's great. No, it's I appreciate. Yeah, it's there sometimes.
I'm too busy. Everybody keeps sending me work.
Okay, Dad. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much. And as always,
Eat
we
your
will see you all
vegetables.
next time. Cheers, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
You fucker.
And eat your vegetables.
Eat your
How can you have any pudding if you don't eat your meat?
Oh, God.
This got weird real fast.
I know, it's still not ending. I've clicked the button to end, and the internet is so bad. It's just like
I know. That's why I'm still talking.
I know. It's so hilarious. The internet is so fucking bad right now. It's just like, yeah, so we're not going to end the stream.
It's just going to go forever.
I know. I've pushed the button 3 times. Having trouble. It's like, oh, here, I have one other way that I can absolutely end the stream. I have one way that I can absolutely do it.
Pull the plug.
No, I can hit remove. I can hopefully. Just hit remove.
No.
Wow. This is ridiculous.
Shut it down. Shut it all down. Ladies and gentlemen, we are experiencing technical difficulties.